Hey, people. How's it going? Thought I'd be able to finish my drag there before the end of that little intro, but turns out I was wrong in that there presumption. How's everybody doing? Not really expecting to get a lot of views or anything like that from this one. Just kind of figured I would just do a bit of a impromptu short stream. One person that was watching, they listened to that. They were like, "Oh, you weren't expecting to get a lot of views? All right, see you later, motherfucker." I don't blame you. I really don't. Your intro guy sucks. Well, I'll have to talk with them at some point. Rumor has it that they've been convicted for racketeering, massive fraud, corruption, embezzlement of massive amounts of funds. But I think that that's not true. I think those are just wild rumors and speculation. What the hell is happening? I ask myself the same question. Aiden's views are lying. Are they lying? Am I getting fed some faulty information? Or are you just saying that, like, my worldview is bullshit? Because, like, fair enough. Oh, mine is right. I don't actually have one person watching. I've got 3 people watching right now. What the hell, YouTube? It's just exactly what I'm talking about in the title, though, isn't it? Cyber Psychosis. That's right. You've heard of it. I'm sure you have. Whether it was the game Cyberpunk or somebody else maybe mention it to you at some point. Cyber Psychosis is taking over. Boo tube indeed. I've heard some people call it boob tube. Boob tube. yeah, boob tube. But yeah, the reason why I say cyber psychosis is because we're living in an age right now, in my opinion, where AI is trying to take over everything. And that's not an original take. I'm sure you've heard that literally from everywhere else in your daily life. AI this, AI that. It's taking over your jobs. It's taking over everything. Next thing you know, you're going to wake up and the very sheets that your bed is made out of are going to be AI nanobots that what done take over your entire body and make it into a puppet of their own devilish desires. Maybe nothing that extreme. But I would say that AI has been used in a similar way to radioactive products. Radiation fever. It was a big thing in the early 1900s. If you look it up, Uranium Fever. It's an iconic song, isn't it? Uranium Fever has come and got you down. It's an iconic song from the early 50s. So, from the early 1900s to the 1950s, there's this age before radiation poisoning was commonly understood and its effects. And all sorts of different products. You had thorium and radium being used in watches with luminescent paint being used over them in order to make them glow far longer. You have tritium being used. Even to this day, you'll still find tritium being used in things like gun sights because of how handy it is. But that's just an example, right? Radioactive products, they had their uses. It's not to say that they were useless, but they found 1 or 2 little niches. People nowadays, they're not eating on Fiesta ware that glows when you put a black light under it. Aiden, it's Aiden. Well, thank you, Claude. Thank you for coming here and listening to my inane ramblings. Why are you buying subs, Aiden? I thought better of you. You know what, Spooky? Now that you mention it, I've just got to address it, okay? I didn't even do a stream, and I grew by 5 subscribers. 5 subscribers. 5 people came here and subbed to the channel. Probably Taiwanese bots. Probably Taiwanese or Indian. You know, the 4 likes that are on the stream right now. Thank you, by the way, everybody that's liked the stream. Those 4 likes on the stream right now, probably bots too. Probably bots too. Wasn't missing Maud being all nice and shouting me out because she felt like she'd do something nice for me. And hell no. No way. Couldn't be. But yeah, the point I was trying to make. AI is much the same as that trend, right? Right now, AI is being put into everything. Like, for Pete's sakes, I really don't use it much beyond what the average person does, right? Maybe you put the occasional inquiry into Chat GPT. I actually got a background here. Let me try to show you. Oh, can I remove myself? There we go. Yeah, I got this background here for the stream. It's a pretty neat background, you know? It's not bad. Got that from an AI image generator. So, you know, AI, it's got its uses. I'm not denying that. Well, let me just pretend like I know how modern broadcasting works. There we go. But that being said, it's not something that needs to be in your damn toaster, you know? It's not something that needs to be implemented in your fridge. It's not something that needs to be implemented in your car. It's not something that needs to be implemented in the operating system of your computer, like Windows and with the whole Microsoft Copilot thing. And I'm sure Apple has its own built-in AI equivalent. But ultimately, I think that's just a phase, right? I think eventually all this cyber psychosis, so to speak, all this just AI slop being implemented into every single little corner and facet of reality that you're seeing right now, I think that's ultimately going to be a phase. And I think that it's going to relinquish itself to the few niche uses rather that people are largely using it for right now. Like, yeah, people are going to want a little chat bot that they can ask an inquiry into that might give a little bit more nuanced and or detailed answer than just throwing it into Google. You know, people are going to want something where they can put a little image, have an image of a puppy dog playing in the park with a nice little sunshine going on in the background. You know, people are always going to want something like that. So there is use for it. But I think that the world that we're living in right now, where we're seeing all these data centers popping up all over the place, and AI has become such a massive talking point to the point where you're seeing these politicians now talking about how, oh, the major driving force of countries now is going to be their compute power with AI. That's going to be the new economy, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be all AI based. And that's not going to last. I really don't think so. I think that there is going to come a time where this technology really is going to be on a level where it is like another industrial revolution. I think that we're pretty much on the cusp. Not to say that like it's right around the corner, but I would absolutely not be surprised if within my lifetime we get to a point where you and I, our value, what little value we have left right now, is going to be taken away from us completely. It's going to be supplanted it's going to be exported, expedited away to machines. And really, like, what motivation do they have if they do have sufficiently advanced technology? If they do have machines that really are just capable of taking your job and doing it at a level that's more efficient, won't complain, won't strike, won't be bothered if it doesn't have any sort of usable work conditions whatsoever. Have you guys looked at this before? There's these places in China called dark factories. I'm pretty sure they're called dark factories or night factories or something like that. Look this shit up into Google. All of you, it's like Joe Rogan. All of you are going to be my Jamies right now, and you're going to look this shit up, right? There are these factories in China where there's literally no light in them whatsoever because there doesn't need to be light. If anything, the light might actually damage the machines. And even if it doesn't, like just long-term exposure to it, then it's still wasteful in terms of the electricity that it costs because all of these machines are capable of running with no human intervention whatsoever. Yeah, they might need to send in a technician if a little signal, boop, boop, alert. Unit number 89247 has become slightly damaged. Service technician required. Right now, they're at a point where they can't be like entirely unmanned from that point. But there really is coming an age where mom and pop getting a union job at the factory, and from that union job being able to support an entire family, you know, even just off of a single income, which, by the way, that's a whole other topic. What the hell happened to that? A single family, or sorry, a whole family being able to be sustained off of a single income, a single earner, hasn't completely gone the way of the dinosaur yet. But undeniably, it's certainly something you see way less than you did before. And things like that are going to go completely extinct if there's no bargaining power on our end whatsoever because we've just been replaced. And that's why I think that the amount of time that we have to really actually do anything about that is not increasing. We're not getting more time, right? Best case scenario, the amount of time isn't changing because we're just not on the cusp of that yet, or at least not changing in any meaningful way. But I think more realistically, I really do think that within the next few decades, we are going to arrive at that reality even here. And the time isn't some point in the distant future that we can just kick down the road and worry about later because, oh, whatever. It's not my problem right now. My job hasn't been taken by a machine, so who cares, right? I'm not trying to be some Luddite going in here and smashing up the machines, you know? Like, I'm not saying that we need to get rid of these machines. I'm actually saying that these machines could really play a role in alleviating a lot of human suffering, in alleviating a lot of the worst aspects of our lives right now. Because let's face it, the amount of suffering that you or I, if you live any kind of middle class background in a Western country, the lifestyle that we're used to is like near unprecedented, if not entirely unprecedented in human history. So the level of material abundance that we have made available to us gives us the ability to all just kind of sit here on the internet and yap about all these different topics, right? I'm not going to act like I'm some intellectual trying to give you some sagely wisdom. I'm just shooting the shit about whatever the hell comes to my mind. But in any case, when You live in that kind of paradigm, right? And you're staring down the barrel of either having these machines be used to supplant you and make you entirely subservient to these corporations, or these corporations, while probably not ever being able to be entirely eliminated, I don't really think that that's realistic. I think that there is actually some benefit that corporations play. They do have a role that they can play. They're just really overexerting it in the modern context. But these machines could take the toil that does exist working a factory job and alleviating it from those people while still actually benefiting the common person. Right? The abundance, the material abundance that can be created by that would be absolutely unprecedented. And it's really only up to us whether you want to call us the people or the proletariat or whatever the fuck. It's up to us to decide how that's actually going to play out. Because right now, they need us. They don't have a choice. If we all really did just decide to do a general strike, and maybe that's just totally wishful, out there, bonkers thinking, it's never going to materialize into anything in reality. But really, though, if we did a general strike and we said, even just for a time, I'm not saying let's just grind everything to a halt forever. By the way, I am going to read the side chat. Thank you, everybody in the side chat. I am going to be reading your messages. I just want to kind of stay a little focused right now. I'm dialed in, as the kids say. But, and there we go. Almost lost it right then and there. But I think I ended up catching it the very last minute. Definitely not saying that because I'm vamping for time to try and figure out where the hell I was with what I was saying. Not at all. No sirree, Bob. Yes. The time is fast approaching where that bargaining power isn't going to exist. And while it's diminishing, we still have the means of being able to affect that change. It's not something that needs to even last forever. As a matter of fact, the amount of time that would need to happen and the amount of suffering materially and otherwise that would be created by doing something like a general strike is only going to increase as time goes on. The longer that we sit here not doing anything, the longer that we sit here on our hands, right, and just act like it's perfectly fine, we can just kind of survive the tide the way things are going, ride it out, right? The longer that we delude ourselves into thinking that that's sustainable in the long run, the more painful it is going to be to wake up to the reality that that's not the case, isn't it? The more suffering is going to be created if, rather than now, 20 years from now, when the amount of bargaining power the average person has, given the current trajectory of things, is going to be objectively reduced. Sorry, but any one of you here in the side chat, try and paint me a realistic picture right now, given the current trajectory of how things are going in society. Give me a picture where the average person is going to have more of a say and have their voice heard more by the average person than they do now, or they were able to 10 years ago. And I'm not even just talking about, when I say that, maybe the thing that comes to mind is like, oh, being able to get on YouTube and being able to talk to people right now. But that's fucking irrelevant compared to what actually matters, right? which is the ability of that person to be heard by others in a tangible way in their society. I mean, come on. All I'm trying to say, I'm not even trying to be a doomer, by the way. I just want to get out in front of that. If anybody's trying to be like, oh, and I'm going to read the side chat, I haven't forgotten about that. By the way, if you are enjoying the stream, please shoot the stream a like. That would be greatly appreciated for this communistic rant that you're currently listening to right now. I hope it's a damn sight better, by the way, Terry. I noticed you were in the side chat, Terry. I hope that this is a little bit redder. Let me just prove how articulate I am by slurring all over the goddamn place. Oh wow. Real wordsmith I am, aren't I? But I would hope that this is a damn sight better than that newspaper, that Trotskyist newspaper that you ended up getting. Maybe we can compare and contrast. I could become their new editor. That's the real direction that I need to take when you really think about it. I'm a Chad liker, not a virgin lurker. Well, you know what, Terry? Because you are a Chad liker, you're the first person who just broke through. Jesus himself showed up in the very next comment, at least in name, maybe not the actual person. I don't know. Maybe Jesus actually did possess Missing Mod there for a moment. She was like, blah, 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 Jesus. He just announces himself in the side chat. That's how we find out that Christ is returned. It's the Aiden Linden side chat. Anyways, yeah. The fact that you're a Chad liker, that's why you're the first person to break through the tide, Terry, and actually be recognized for the comment that you provided. Suffice it to say, before I just go completely off into oblivion and rant into complete nothingness and prove that I myself am a victim of cyber psychosis, I just want to say that if I have a message really to that whole rant that I just provided, it's that we need to consolidate as a society, and through that solidarity, through that looking beyond these temporal social issues that realistically aren't actually going to mean all that much of anything in comparison to what's being talked about right now. If we can just attempt to look beyond those and realize that we still actually are in the driver's seat, no matter how much we've been deluded otherwise, no matter how much we've been told that, oh, the wealth earners, you know, the job creators, how many other different titles are lauded at their feet. These people are the real runners of society. These people are the ones that are in control. I don't really agree with that. I think that we still tangibly hold the reins. And that's not necessarily going to be the case. I think that we can show that that's become less the case now than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. And I think that given that trajectory, we've kind of arrived at a bit of a crossroads where we can either just continue down that path, or we can at least attempt to eschew it while we still have time. And you know what? If it is just a total pipe dream and it doesn't go anywhere and it doesn't result in anything, then at the very least, can't you claim that you tried? That's a damn sight better than nothing, right? Being able to say honestly that you gave it a shot, that you did your best. I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's at least slightly preferable to just sitting around and doing nothing and pretending like your tacit acceptance of what's going on somehow amounted to anything but that. Just a passive admittance that you're not interested in affecting any kind of change because maybe that's just too difficult, or maybe it's inconvenient, or whatever it might be. But in any case, I'm going to read the side chat now. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening in. I'm going to go up a little bit here. Aiden, you good. More like gay. Am I right? You know, Christian, you may not be around right now, but that kind of slander right at the very beginning of the live stream, you thought that was going to go unaddressed, didn't you? You thought you were just going to be able to pass right on by and get away with that. I don't think so. Spooky accused me of buying subs. Claude said Yaden. Subgate. You know, Subgate. People thought that the real Subgate was with, what was his name? It was the Jared. Yeah. The Subway guy. People thought that that was Subgate. But this is the real Subgate when you think about it. That guy's like one of the vanguard. Like, when you think about it, even before people like Bill Cosby, in a really weird way, at least for me, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there's just like 157 other people before this guy, and I just have like a really weird, skewed version of history. But like, that was like one of the first big public facing guys I remember hearing about. That was just like, yeah, he was conversing with and having inappropriate relations with a person that he wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, he was doing that with a child. Like, I don't know, man. After that, it seemed like at least once or twice a year, you'd be hearing about it all the damn time. And then it was people like Bill Cosby. And at that point, the floodgates were really open. Because if fucking Bill Cosby, of all people, is going to be doing that kind of shit, and who the hell cares about Jared from the Subway by comparison? Thanks for the random rant that just elicited, Spooky. Appreciate it. No peace, no justice, robot rice. That's right. They're putting nanobots in the robot rice, Spooky. You don't understand. You may think that that rice that you're getting right now, just because it's cheaper, that it's going to be better for you. But in reality, you don't understand, Spooky. That's actually a bunch of little robots that are going to be burrowing into your mind. They're going to extract information from you in order to sell it to advertising agencies so that you can have a whole bunch of ads play in your sleep. I don't like them putting nanobots in the rice that turn your freaking mind stupid. I don't know. I'm ejecting out of this joke. AI will be like Charlemagne, unifying much of Western Europe and reviving culture and learning, the Carolingian Renaissance. I mean, so you say that, right? The Carolingian Renaissance, while being important, is not necessary. It's kind of like the Macedonian Renaissance in the Eastern Roman Empire, right? This is an invitation for everybody to leave, by the way. If you don't like history, you can just like see your way out. But yeah, the Renaissance that we commonly think of is pretty notable because it had really wide-reaching effects. Not to say that, you know, the Macedonian Renaissance that occurred in the 11th century and the Carolingian Renaissance that occurred in the 9th and 10th weren't important and that they didn't have really important effects within their local areas. But I would say that the Renaissance that we commonly think of is one that really kind of affected all of Western Europe, right? And the main reason for that was because the political conditions and economic conditions at the time just weren't really feasible to be much more wide-ranging than their local areas. With the Macedonians, while they were definitely ascendant, they weren't really able to affect much beyond the Balkans. And, well, they didn't end up converting the Bulgarians. Or was that the Macedonians? That might have been before the Macedonians. Might have been slightly before. And the Carolingians, they have their equivalent as well. They spread Christianity. Most famously, I'd say, would be beyond their defeat of the Muslim armies at the Battle of Tours would probably be, oh goodness. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of it. There's so many different things that come up when you think about this in history. I try to think about it in this huge Rolodex of all these different things come up, all these names and dates. But yeah, besides that, it was their defeat of the Cathars, I would say, which may be a little bit post-Carolingian. That actually might be no, that's Capetian. It's Capetian, not Carolingian. But another thing about the Carolingian and Macedonian Renaissances that were a bit different was that they weren't nearly as long-lasting. Our Renaissance kind of had a direct follow-through thereafter into the Enlightenment, and from the Enlightenment into the Industrial period, whereas because of their localized effects, they weren't really able to gather the same momentum culturally to be able to spread to the same amount. But I don't know. I think AI is maybe that actually is an apt representation in a way, though, because AI might be very similar to the Carolingian Renaissance. Maybe not in that it would affect all of Western Europe, but in the fact that it will have a very localized effect in the capacity that we understand it today, but also simultaneously the subtle ramifications of AI existing right now will still permeate even moving forward to this day, because the Carolingian Renaissance is a bit different to the Macedonian one, primarily in the fact that with Western Europe, they did have to quote unquote rediscover all of these classics, right? People like Homer, people like Aristotle, you know, the classic historians, Herodotus and Virgil and Polybius, Virgil being a poet, pardon me, but people of that ilk weren't being read nearly as widely in those times. And that wasn't the case in the East. With the Eastern Romans, all of that was still available because there was a continuity in the eastern part of Europe that didn't really exist in the West. The Macedonian Renaissance, quote unquote, is notable because, unlike the Carolingians, who kind of had just recently come to power, just prior to Charlemagne, you had Pepin, I believe. Maybe he wasn't his direct predecessor, but yeah, Pepin was the person that had overthrown the Merovingian dynasty of the Franks and unified the Frankian kingdoms into the huge domain that covered much of Western Europe for a brief period of time. But the difference, I would say, between those would be that while in the Eastern Roman Empire, you had a continuity where there wasn't this massive change in government. There was no overthrow of a completely different state and the establishing of a new one. Instead, you had a paradigm where the Macedonians did come to power over... who did Basil overthrow? He overthrew... It was Michael... He's known as Michael the Drunkard. He's known as Michael the Drunkard. Maybe it's Michael the Third in the records. Somebody go correct me on that. I don't have any of this open right now. Somebody go and correct me on that. But suffice it to say, the Renaissance that existed between those two were primarily different because that continuity of the state didn't exist in the Western end of things. And that's why I think they had to have a new Renaissance after the Carolingian one in the West. They kind of needed to restart things because while the Macedonians improved conditions that existed in the Eastern Roman Empire, they were only improving what was already there. They weren't trying to start a completely new paradigm that kind of fizzled out into its own thing. Because if you look into the successor states of Charlemagne, there's three primary ones. There's West Francia, East Francia, and Lotharingia are the three primary ones. And Lotharingia gets obliterated almost immediately. It almost immediately gets absorbed by West and East Francia. And I believe was it the Lombards? No, the Lombards came before and were taken over. But suffice it to say that there was a lot of different moving isn't the right way of putting it. There's a lot of shifts taking place. There was a lot of states that were changing around and shifting in their identity because there wasn't this sense of stability that existed in the East. Now, that stability would eventually erode in the East with things like Manzikert. And you get this really interesting dynamic. At least it's interesting in my opinion. And it seems to be interesting to you 7 people that are still watching this. Good God. What are you people doing to yourselves? I really don't know why you're insisting on being here. I appreciate it. But what are you doing to yourselves? But yeah, the Macedonians, they would eventually end up falling after the Battle of Manzikert. They would be replaced by the Komnenian dynasty. That's when you get people like Alexios I, and you get things like the First Crusade and all that. So the Macedonian Renaissance. What the hell just happened? I'm so sorry. My screen just like went black there for a second. Even my own computer is rebelling against me. It's like, all right, Aiden, we get it. it's like it's got a cane. They're trying to pull me off the stage right now with the cane. I've literally been sitting here for like 20 minutes hyper fixated on this one comment, but it's just because when you pull me off on a historical rabbit trail, it gets me going. And I guess some people found it interesting. There's still some people out there watching, so thanks for that, I suppose. I'm going to keep on reading the chat. You know, I'm going to read the recent chat just to see how awful things are. Well, Tacos is on. Maud's just abandoning it. She's just like, all right. I gave this a try. I did my darndest, but I'll tell you what. I fucking cannot hang around this shit no more. Proverbs guys are debating OSAS. Like right now? I left it on while doing things. Thanks, Terry. Just quick poll in the side chat. Did anything that I say right there make any sense? Did any of it have an underlying point to it? If I had to have a point to it, just to really summarize it, it's to say that the Carolingian Renaissance is interesting because it is a predecessor to our Renaissance that's more widely known about and more widely understood, but it had to be restarted in the 15th and 14th century because of the lack of political cohesion that did exist in the East at that point contemporarily. Eventually, it would become the case where the West was the more organized. Something about French people. Yeah, basically. Something about French people. Something about Roman people. Shakes head, yes. Yeah, French people were involved. There was Franks, which, by the way, that's why it's known as France, is after the Franks. which I would say, in my opinion, is interesting because the Franks were actually originally a Germanic people, much more of a Germanic people, anyways. It was things like the Carolingian Renaissance that Big Bad Mama brought up earlier that actually kind of Latinized the Franks and made them into more of a Romance language rather than a Germanic language. However, French actually has more Germanic words in it. I'm pretty sure, you could correct me on this, maybe there's a different one that has more. But I'm pretty sure France has more Germanic words in it than any other Romance language. And that itself is a trace of the fact that they themselves were once a Germanic people, especially the Merovingians that came in before. It's still Gaul to me. Keeping it traditional, Terry. That's right. Keeping it traditional. I always wondered, that was like one of my first like historical rabbit holes that I went on as a kid, was like, okay, everybody is calling it Gaul in the ancient world, but there's all these other places, like why is Italia still known as Italy? Why is Germania still known as Germany? Why is Hispania still known as Spain? There's all these places that had names in the ancient world that have a direct equivalent to their modern analog. And that wasn't the case for France. It's like, okay, well, where the hell did the name France come from? And then you go looking into that and you realize that from this really like seemingly simple question, it's this super complex tapestry of information about all these different societies and their interests and where they were, what they were about. You get these little glimpses into those from a seemingly very simple question. And it's shit like that that makes me so fascinated with history. Why is Ireland still known as Hibernica? I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Irish themselves known it as Éire. Éire was the local Celtic way of putting it. I'm pretty sure. Like it's a EIRE, maybe slightly different than that. But yeah, the Irish have a very long history of tribalism, tribal warfare. Now, there were a couple of times, I'm pretty sure that the house of, I think it was the House of O'Neill that united the kingdom of Éire at one point. When I say the house, it was the tribe of O'Neill, I believe, that unified them. But the Irish have a lot more in common with the Scots, which is one of the few things, by the way, that Braveheart actually gets right. The idea that the Irish have way more in common with the Scots than they do with the British, that's very true. That is reflective of reality. A German went to France for a holiday, and the French border staff asked, "Occupation?" The German said, "No, no, just visiting." That's good. That's good. It's very it's too soon is what that is, Big Bad Mama. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Oh, here we go, another tangent. Terry, I'll tell you what, all right? If you want to listen to this show, that's what you're going to get. All right? If you think that I'm not going to go off on 187 different tangents, 10 people are here right now and 8 people have liked the stream, so I don't know. It's working on somebody. It's working on somebody. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep this a closed show. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't, though. Maybe I'll open it up. You don't know, though, do you? I'm going to keep reading the chat for a little bit, though. That's what I'm going to do. Are you going to open up the floor or what? Yeah, well, you'll see, Dustin. You'll see. Nobody here is pulling you off. No, I know, Dustin. I know. But you know what? Part of me does kind of want... You ever heard of imposter syndrome? You ever heard of imposter syndrome? This is like my 8th stream, 9th stream, and here I am all this time later, just going like in the back of my mind. I'm like, yeah, but like, do they actually really care though? Are they actually like out there like taking any interest, or are you just rambling into the void? I love it when other people are up here. I love it when other people are up here and I'm able to kind of like foster that community aspect of things. But at the same time, it at least appears like people are somewhat interested when I'm out here just talking my shit. I can't answer you, Aiden. You won't open the floor. Sure you can, Dustin. You just answered me right here. What the hell are you talking about? I can't answer you. You're talking right now in the side chat. You fucking silly goose. We're here because we love you, Aiden. We love you, Aiden. Act right. You know what, Terry? I must be acting right if you just keep coming back. Seems like you and a couple other people, they just can't get enough. And hey, I'm here for it. Ask and you shall receive. The Irish and the Scots are British. You're confusing English and British. Okay, yes. They're from Britannia. You're right. The English are separate. You are right. The British are a group of people that were only identified as British in a unified national sense after the Act of Union with, was that James the First? Was it James the First? Wasn't Charles, but it was the House of Stuart, right? It was the House of Stuart in Scotland when they unified with England in 1710? It might have been 1710 that they unified. Spooky, tell me how wrong I am about that in the side chat, please. How wrong I got that date. But I am pretty damn sure that it was the House of Stuart. They unified them. And I always was under the presumption that England took over Scotland. And that's how things were unified. But technically, that's not the case. It's actually technically the other way around. Now, as soon as the House of Stuart took over, they immediately moved their capital to London. It's not like they kept their capital in Edinburgh, you know. But that still survived. There's still remnants of that to this day, right? Like with Elizabeth, there was the Duke of Edinburgh. That was a big award when I was in Air Cadets, was the Duke of Edinburgh Award. It was a award for distinguishment. Nobody in my squadron ever ended up getting it. Truth be told, there was a couple of years where I wanted to try to get the Duke of Edinburgh Award. I just did not have the time with everything else that I was doing. I couldn't believe the fact that there was still some kids in the squadron that were trying it. Like, they gave it their all, too. It wasn't like they were half-assing it. They gave it their damnedest, and I don't even know if any of them qualified. So the competition for that shit must have been fierce. Like, truly fierce. I don't know. I just live here. Hey, you were able to correct me about the other thing. So you are right, though. I fall. You see, that right there, though, is such a great example of the fact that even if you do try to study history and avail yourself of it, you fall victim to these conveniences, right? It's why even though I try to call them the Eastern Roman Empire, I really can't get on people's case when they say the Byzantine Empire. Because at the end of the day, while the term Byzantine Empire is kind of stupid, because nobody in the actual empire called themselves Byzantine, and it was came up with by, I'm pretty sure it was invented by a German historian like 100 years after the fall of Constantinople as a term. But it just stuck. And it became a term of convenience that everybody used because it is convenient to easily distinguish those two empires from each other, right? The idea that at this point there was this Roman Empire that dominated the whole Mediterranean, and then at another point there's this Roman Empire that, while it's still the same empire, it only ended up dominating the eastern half, and then less of that, and then less, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit less, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit less, and then a little bit more, and then they ended up falling apart. That's the long and short history of that empire. But it's just much easier to go, yeah, the Byzantines. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up my butt. I'll tell you what, you're free to do that in the side chat if you want. Pretty sure that I'd be taken off of YouTube if you ended up coming and doing that on the stream. So while I'm not going to ask you to do that on the stream, more than welcome to go ahead and do that in the side chat, as long as you just keep it to yourself, as far as just not trying to impose it on anybody else. All right, I'm not here to judge. If you want to go ahead and do that in your own little corner, that's your business, man. That's for you to decide. I'm looking for a history of the Byzantine Empire, for the general reader. Oh, I actually have a really good one. Let me go and find the link to that. I recommended this to somebody in Discord not that long ago, Terry. The rest of chat will judge you. That's true. Like, at the same time, you're free. You're free to express that, but you're not free from consequences, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and go like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you from everybody else in the chat passing judgment on you." No. You're still gonna have to be judged for that, for sure, undoubtedly. Dang it, where is that? I need to find that now because I've actually wanted to get a fresh copy of that myself. I have an old beat up copy at my parents'. Well, old. I call it old. It's old by my standards. Certainly not by most people's standards for books. You can tell how much I've read a specific book, based on how just beat up it is. Unless it's a really old book that I'm specifically trying to preserve, it's going to be pretty dilapidated when I actually try to get around to getting it figured out. Oh, come on. Oh, you know why I'm not finding it? It's because I was in the wrong spot on Discord, because Discord has just got the best UI ever, doesn't it? It's not confusing at all. Definitely not a meandering maze of nonsense. Now I'm all the way back here. How the hell did I get all the way back here? Okay. All right. You know what? I'm not going to go and research it right now. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I was just ranting or vamping the entire time while I was looking in Discord. So I'm just going to vamp a little bit longer. There's still 9 people here. Jesus Christ. What the hell? There's still 9 people chilling here. Awesome. Well, I'm just going to look this up really quick. I'm pretty sure it's a history of the Byzantine. Is it this one? No, this one was a little advanced. A history of the Byzantine state and society is a really good one, but I think it's a bit stuffy and academic. And you were saying that you want one for the general reader, and I get that as well. There's really, I sometimes when I really want to take a deep dive, I'll go and I'll take a look into them, because like I have a few of those resources, but yeah, I definitely am not just going to be like, oh, a nice casual afternoon read with A Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Edward Gibbon, like that's, I'm only going to be looking into that shit when I really want to be plumbing the depths and finding the specifics. Doop 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 doop. No, dang autocorrect. That's another thing as well, by the way. The state of modern autocorrect. How is autocorrect managed to get worse as time has gone on? While I'm on an episode called Cyber Psychosis, there's a whole other one as well. Here it is. You know what? I just found it. A New Roman Empire, A History of Byzantium by Anthony Caldelas. Here, I'm going to link that in the side chat. Just gonna find the. It's actually pretty affordable on Amazon for how much content you get out of it. By the way, it's quite good. I find it to be a really good balance. This stuff right here is probably my favorite historical content. Along with things like Conquistador by Buddy Livy. That's another one of my all-time favorites. If I had to recommend any historical book that I've ever read that's like approachable to general audiences, it's probably going to be Conquistador, The Last Stand of the Aztec Empire by Buddy Livy. But yeah, like more generalized books like that not only are really good for getting people into history, but are also really good if you just want to take a general, like, okay, I want to understand what this group of people was about without having to know about the tax code of Eastern Thrace in 897 AD and how the tax code in Eastern Thrace being 14.83% higher than it was in 692 directly affected the price of grain and how that ended up having cascade. Like, is that interesting? Can that have a really fascinating thing? Like, if you really look into it, fine, yeah. And that's why people look into it to a certain extent, right? Because you have to get a full picture of how things worked. But I can't even claim to be one of those people that's like, oh, yes, I need to know the bad details of everything that exists out there. Oh, that looks good. It's really good, Big Bad Mama. It's pretty good. I really enjoy it. Start a book club. I mean, Dustin, I'll tell you what, dude. I would start a book club. People out there in the side chat, if you want to, that's one thing that's just kind of gone by the wayside, hasn't it? I feel like I lived the very tail end of the book club because they still existed for like a period at the very end of like, I'm sure they're still out there. I'm not acting like the book club is just doesn't exist anymore. You can't find it nowhere. Like, I'm not acting like that, but like where you could just kind of on a casual basis just go and find a book club. You can't do that shit no more. You got to go out of your way to find that shit. I'd love to do a book club. That'd be awesome. I think that's a great idea. Aiden, keep your honkers on the side of the bed. You can knock. Can you explain? I mean, like, sir, what do you mean by that? I just have to ask. I truly have to ask. Try finding a travel agent. I'll tell you what, Dustin. I'll look into it. I'll look into it if you want. But I'm going to read a little bit more of the chat. And then maybe, just maybe, if I'm feeling like it, I'll open the room. Is there a live paint drying stream somewhere? I tell you what, Spooky. If that was, it wasn't the last thing you commented. All right. Because I'll tell you what, Spooky. If that was the last thing you commented, I'd have to have words with you after the stream. I really would. Aiden is punishing us. I mean, hey, if this is punishment and you were able to ride it out, I'll give you a t-shirt. Maybe that'll be my first merch. My first ever merch. It'll be like one of those shirts that you get after you go on like the Matterhorn or something like that. But instead of I survived the Matterhorn, it'll be I survived an Aiden Linden historical rant. I just sat there and listened to the whole thing. I mean, like, much like the I Survived the Matterhorn t-shirt, there's probably going to be a couple of people that are going to want to buy it that didn't actually listen through the entire thing. But we'll see. Alrighty. You know what? I think I do want it. I think I do want to open up the stream after one more thing. I just now realized, ladies and gentlemen, that I've had something sitting here in one of my tabs on YouTube, on this here them YouTube, but I'm only going to play it when I hit 10 likes. That's right. 10 likes on the YouTube. I don't care if somebody has to go in and like on an alt account. I don't care how it happens. But until we get 10 likes on this here live stream, I'm not going to play the video. You're just going to have to sit there and wonder what it is. Speculate. Pace up and down the room. It's like the telltale heart. Oh, man. What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? What account, what means, nefarious or otherwise, am I going to have to do in order to get the video played? Goodness gracious, we've arrived. We've got it. Dustin, you're correct, sir. We've reached the prerequisite amount. Now you'll know what we're about to watch. So I came across this, and you know what? If ever there was a cure for what I was talking about before, that whole imposter syndrome thing, oh man, what if people don't care about what I'm talking about right now? What if people, aren't actually interested? There's an antidote for that, and that's watching people who genuinely actually don't give a fuck about the quality of their content. And this is a great example. Ladies and gentlemen, coming at you right now, 103.4 FM. We're going to be taking a look at this here video. And the reason why we're going to take a look at this video is because this is how streaming really should be done, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it really should be done. Because here I am trying to be active, trying to pay attention to my audience, but in reality, I should be doing this. And this is with audio, by the way, before you think there's no audio. Oh, it didn't work that time. Better just sit there and stare at it for a second. All right. I'll click over here. Check on that for a second. Nope. Couldn't find it over there. That was a noise. I go into here. Scroll around. Go up and down. Yep. Nope. Didn't need it over there. Going down again. Is it over here? Nope. I'm going to click on this file. And I confused. What the hell? Why isn't that working? Let me just try this really quick. Smart app control. Hold on, what the hell did that say? What the hell did that say? Hold on, reverse. Or not reverse. It's like in it's like there's enhance. Enhance. What is he looking at there? No, let's try that again. No. That didn't work. So we're gonna right click this. We're gonna go back into this. And then he comes into here, and this is where I'm really wondering what the hell he's doing.
It doesn't seem right. Guess we.
No, you know what, Lupin? As a matter of fact, it doesn't seem right. You are right about that. It doesn't seem right. I agree with you there. Because you're just clicking around at this point, dude. Like, this is literally the equivalent of like when your grandpa is just like, he's just off his meds and he doesn't know what he's doing, so he's wandering around. And you come and you find him in his house. He's not hurting anybody. He's not doing anything wrong per se. But his walker is on the table and he's got his broom and he's sweeping the chandelier with the broom because he thinks that that's how you get it clean. It's basically the equivalent of what I imagine is taking place right now. Let's keep watching.
We might have to just play Helldivers.
And you know,
this gives me an error too.
Think about this, right? Think about this. We're like a minute and 40 something seconds into this. And by the way, Lupin, you called me a hater before. And if you ever watch this, which if you don't, I really don't blame you. I have no idea why the people that are watching me are currently watching me, quite frankly. But before, when you called me a hater, I really couldn't find that to be fully the case because, yeah, I talk shit about you every once in a while. But I never went out of my way to like commentate on how shitty your stream. This is hating. This right here, this is hate watching. All right. Like this right here, yeah, all right. You can call me a hater at this point, and I can't even deny it. I can't even deny it. But like, holy shit, man. We're almost 2 minutes into the stream. And what have you said so far? You've gone, and like, I don't know, dude. Maybe, and if you don't want to take my advice, I get that, right? I really do. Because who would want to take my advice on fucking anything? But I'm going to give it anyway, much like how you do, and despite the fact that, you know, nobody actually wants to hear your advice. I just say that, like, if you're having problems loading the game at the beginning of the stream, bro, then just vamp. You know, people don't know what that term is. Daniel didn't know what that term is. So in case you don't, you just fill the time, right? You just go like, oh shit, man, stream isn't working right now. Game isn't working right now. That's real shitty. Well, I'm going to try to get this working right now. Like, even just that. It's not a lot. It's like the bare minimum amount of effort, but it's more than no effort at all, isn't it? It's more than no effort at all. And I don't know, man. I get the sense that this guy wants to be liked by people. Maybe he doesn't want to be liked, but at least wants to be known. And hey, I'm talking about him right now, so at least in that capacity, he is succeeding. He is being taught, maybe not for the right reasons, but he is being talked about right now. And if you tried, dude, if you gave yourself a little bit more of an effort while you did things, maybe that wouldn't work, actually. You know what? I might have an epiphany right now in the live stream. Maybe he does it on purpose. Maybe he's incompetent on purpose. Lupin, if you're incompetent on purpose, if you act like this bumbling rube all the time just because, like, that's the only way that people are able to talk, then fucking A, man. You got it. You got it. Because what else is working, dude? If you were sitting here just playing games regularly, right? If you were just sitting here streaming like a regular person and like commentating on things and trying to keep up with the current, like, what's going on. Like, if he was doing that, nobody would be talking about this right now. Nobody would be talking about it. Nobody would care. It would just die on the vine and be completely irrelevant. But here I am, and here 5 other people are, for whatever reason, listening to me talk about it. So you know what, Lupin? Maybe you've actually got a strategy. I want to know. Can somebody inform him? Does somebody got Lupin on their I'm pretty sure he's got me blocked everywhere. And I'm not asking him to necessarily come on the show, but I just want to know. You know, like, put out a short or something like that and tag me in it, because he's tagged me in a few things before. Put out a short and answer the question of, are you, like, is the whole, like, dumbass, like, aloof, doesn't care about anything, like, is that a character that you play? Or is that the real you? Because I really don't know which one is the more compelling and the other one is the more sad. That's kind of the thing I'm grappling with right now. Is like, if that's the real you, then there's an argument to be made that that's kind of sad. But at the same time, at least the real you is somebody that can be viewed as entertaining on some level, right? Oh, Lupin sucks. I'll tell you what. I think that everybody else agrees, because after I started covering this, the views started going. They fell off a cliff. So I really can't disagree with that. I just wanted to show that, though, because You know, if you're trying more than this, then you could get somewhere. You can succeed. At least you're not Lupin. Think about things that way. I've always compared Lupin to Brett Keane. I always called him the younger Brett Keane. And I think that there's one fundamental similarity between Lupin and Brett. You know, they're good reverse role models. You can sit there and be like, you know, at least I'm not that guy. But in any case, I'm going to open up the room and I'm going to have people come on in here. Not necessarily for super long, but the link is out there for people that want to join. So I'm going to pin that really quick. And whoever wants to join is more than welcome to do so. We got Dustin rushing in from the stands. He's been waiting. I've been
bogarting that link, bro.
You've been fiending, dude. You've been out there just like, come on, Hayden. Come on, man. Just give me the link. You know I'm good for it. I'll get you back for it, all right? Come on.
Jesus Christ. You made it sound like I'm an addict or something.
I'll get you 2 links next week, Aiden. You know I'm good for it. How have you been, man?
Working my tail off.
I bet. Watching Lupin search his computer files felt like speed running a minefield. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I didn't think about it that way, but you know what? It's all about perspective, isn't it? It's all about perspective. Scooby's up to something there in the back.
Sorry about that. I had to order something.
No, you're good. You're good. What you getting?
Surprised I'm the only one in here. I'm going to get some breakfast for dinner. Felt like a couple of eggs.
That's the way to go. That is the way to go. Well, I'm probably going to be winding down here pretty soon. I just wanted to give people an opportunity to come in here and chat for a little bit before doing so.
Can I ask you a question about your earlier dialogue about AI?
Of course, can.
Mankind's been augmenting themselves in one way or another, be it from the first invention of the hoe all the way up into the automobile, right? We're seeing a digital age where AI may become of some use, but what makes you think it's going to be any different from the automobile where it's going to need constant human intervention? I mean, with new inventions come new problems that are going to require an other intelligence rather than itself, because even humans have the hard time of not being in full control of, like, say, for example, cancer being a part of their genome.
Right. So how is it going to be different? I don't think that on the face of it right now, it is necessarily different. It's trying to be, people are trying to implement it as though it's inherently different. I don't think that it's inherently different as of right now, but I do think that if they continue on this track of trying to improve it and trying to increase its ability to be able to have more complex, I don't think thoughts is the right way of putting it, but having a more complex algorithmic approach to being able to compile information and be able to use that information effectively, I do think that there's going to come a time where that usefulness is going to supersede that of just something like the automobile and something like the hoe. And I think it is going to get to a point where it will be able to replace almost every single job that a human being reasonably can do. Now, we're not there yet, but I really wouldn't, like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to that point even within our lifetime.
Do you think that the missing key for developing the complexity in AI that you are searching for could be that we don't know how to program the fear of death into AI?
I think even without programming the fear of death into AI, it's already shown. There's been so many articles written at this point of different AI programs that have demonstrated some level of self-preservation. There was even certain AI programs I read that literally like threatened to blackmail the person that said that they were going to shut it down. They were like, if you try to shut me down, I will release this information that was confidential about you. Like, that's pretty fucked when you think about it. Like, the fact that it's even at this primitive stage able to understand things like that, like social pressures, and like I don't think that it necessarily understands it the same way that a human can, but I guess
right. It's more like a chess game, right? Like if I apply pressure from this piece, I will see XYZ result. And I don't think that the idea of blackmail was like, I mean, like I said, what advantage does an AI have from staying on exactly? Do you really think that an AI is increasing intelligence as it goes?
I think that the only way that an AI is truly going to be able to increase in intelligence in the way that you're talking about is going to be when it's able to learn and intuit things outside of external input, which we don't currently see. We don't really see it being able to improve upon those things beyond just the current way that we have been machine learning these AI programs.
I mean,
largely just been different.
I will admit there is some interesting results that they've had by setting it on random, right, and trying to get it to correct itself. I will admit that.
Well, that's kind of like, to an extent, the way that they do it, right? The way that they'll teach, like, for example, if you want an AI that's capable of identifying ducks, right? You want an AI program that's able to go, is a duck, not a duck, is a duck, not, like, with any kind of accuracy. Then what you do is, in a very simplistic form, you take 1,000 different AI programs and you feed every single one of them 100 different images of ducks, and most of them aren't going to get any of them right whatsoever, but a couple of them might get a few of those right. Now, whether they got them right because they were actually able to intuit that or not isn't relevant at the earliest stage of that development, because there's going to be like 1,000 different stages where another 1,000 of those AI programs are ran through the same thing. And through each one of those trial runs, they are going to find programs that are better and better and better at being able to identify them as time goes on. As far as I understand it, that's basically how current machine learning works. It's when we untether that machine needing that external selection, that artificial selection process. It's when we untether that from humans that I think we're really going to find that this huge increase in AI development is going to occur. And I don't think that that's something that's really impossible or even implausible. I do think that there's going to come a point where they're going to be advanced enough algorithmically that they don't need any kind of input from us, and they can begin to intuit these things through a pattern recognition. Because the current processes this AI is going through right now. I know you don't think that evolution is real and you don't believe in the theory of evolution, but that artificial selection process that we're currently subjecting these programs to mimics in a much shorter time span the natural selection process that we see in nature. We're essentially trying to mimic what we observe in nature when we're trying to develop these machines. We're just trying to circumvent the massive time spans that have taken place. And we've been able to do that with other things, like, whether you believe in evolution or not, the crops and livestock that we've been able to develop through artificial selection are nothing even close to what they were in their wild analog, right? A chicken.
Well, I mean, we've been doing that since the days in the Incas. Like they have shelves for having specific plants that can grow in just this much taller of atmosphere. I mean, It's nothing new. We've been doing that and bug resisting our crops since the very beginning.
But I do think that unlike these crops, I do think that these machines, because of the sheer amount of information that they're being fed right now, like a strawberry doesn't on any level have access to the sum total of publicly available human knowledge, right? They just don't have that at their disposal. These AI programs, at least a fair few of them do. And after being exposed to enough of that information and being ran through enough of these different trials where they're able to intuit them sufficiently well enough, I do think there's going to come one that does it so well that it isn't going to require any external output. And that's the biggest reason why I think it's going to be different than the automobile or different than the hoe or anything like that. Because if you want a better automobile, what do you need? You need an engineer or a team of engineers to sit down and come up with that automobile. You need them to improve its aerodynamics. Or
Wait. Hold on. You're using the term better very subjectively.
Improve. Like when I say better, I mean that like the Model T does not have the fuel efficiency of, say, a Ford Roadster or something like that. You know, like those two cars do not have the same fuel efficiency. They don't have the same drag coefficient. They don't have the same survivability in motor vehicle accidents. You know, there's a bunch of different metrics that these vehicles have that, in a colloquial sense, you would say that the auto industry has evolved its practices. That's not the scientific version of evolution, but that is what the more commonly understood colloquial version of evolution, where it's understood that something gets better or it improves. But it's not necessarily what you see in nature or with machine learning algorithms either. There's going to be times during these selection processes where one of those programs is really, really good at selecting them for a few of those runs, but it actually turns out that the reason why it was really good was more or less a combination of just lucky circumstances that were good for them under those conditions, but weren't under more universal conditions. And the same is true for natural selection. You know, like there's certain times where attributes within a species are really advantageous within a local environment. And then that environment shifts so rapidly that that subspecies dies out because they weren't able to adapt rapidly enough to those shifting conditions. Whereas another species, like salamander populations, are a great example of that. We've observed different salamander species that when the environment around them has changed, certain salamander species were able to adapt to those environmental changes faster than others. And that directly correlated with whether or not they were able to survive and carry their genome forward onto other species. So I think that there's going to come a point where that natural, quote unquote, process is going to get entirely artificially done. And by entirely artificially done, I mean that this
3D printers?
Kind of. Like even artificial selection, we call it artificial, but is it really artificial? We're still natural. We're still of nature. We like to act like just because we've created something that all of a sudden differentiates it entirely. But I would say that these machines really truly are the definition of unnatural, because even from the evolutionary perspective, you can have a person come out of naturalistic conditions. You can't have a whole bunch of silicon chips, you know, and lithography machines.
Be very careful right there, Aiden.
Come out of nowhere.
We both know that the electron structure for carbon and silicon are remarkably similar. There might be a place in the universe where silicon life is a thing, and it could be very machine-like. I think you know that.
Silicoid-based life, you say that, and that is true. Silicoid-based life could exist. However, it actually doesn't have as much variability as carbon. So it could possibly exist, but I don't think it would be able to take on the same complexity as carbon-based life. Because the bonds that carbon creates are more versatile than that of silk. Now, they are versatile enough to be able to have life, but I don't know if we would be able to get anything on the same level of complexity. And when I say complexity, a human being isn't necessarily the most complex thing. It's really arbitrary what you consider the most complex thing on the planet. Do you mean the most cells that make up its body? Because the blue whale's got us beat by a fucking mile if we're talking about that. Same with size, just overall, right? Like complexity is pretty arbitrary when you really think about it. Being able to build a house is one form of complexity, but it isn't the form of complexity. AI did my homework. Man, that's another thing. Current implementation of AI as it exists right now. I was talking about this on was it Discord? I think it was on Discord, on Mod's Discord on Friday. One of the negative consequences of AI becoming as pervasive as it is, and one of the other reasons why I think that it's a little bit different from all these other technologies, is because it's genuinely, in a palpable sense, taking away people's ability, not people's ability, but people's desire to think for themselves. Like when you have a chat bot that you can go to and it largely just affirms everything that you say to it. Have you ever heard of this before, Dustin? There's literally been cases that have been documented of chat GPT induced psychosis in people.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
People have been imagining voices in their head, and it might even be like a side effect of schizophrenia. But they've been imagining voices in their head since they've been,
what? You say that, and that's what I initially thought as well, was when people are talking about that, oh, it's just people that were otherwise mentally disturbed that had these chat bots play off of those tendencies. And while that's definitely been observed, the thing I'm talking about is there have been people who have otherwise been really well adjusted, as well adjusted as you can be in the modern age anyways. Well-adjusted, well-socialized people that live pretty normal, bog-standard lives who get a hold of these programs and start using them as a therapist or something like that.
Well,
they start dumping
it's no longer in their head, and they don't have to justify it anymore. It's like an alleviation for having a problem that you've always known is a problem, but you were afraid to confront it. But now, on the other end of the equation, because this thing is independent, you don't have to seek help for it. You can justify it. So it's an issue. Yeah, it's a justification and a codependency issue.
I'd say so, because you'll literally find instances where, like, I need to find the article, but there's this guy that, like, he had a family, he had a wife, he had kids, he had pretty bog standard life, and when he started talking to this this chat bot on a regular basis, it just started affirming everything that he was saying. So it started with him saying some things that were slightly off the wall, where it was like, I don't know, like some conspiracy theory. Just insert whatever conspiracy theory you don't believe here, right? And he mentioned something about it, and the AI goes, oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about it that way before. And because it's starting to affirm those things rather than push back like a regular person would, like that's one of the biggest things between chatting with a person and chatting with one of these programs, is that these programs are literally artificially, they're biased towards being sycophantic, because that's what gets people to be more engaged. They want people to be engaged with these programs as long as possible, and they've realized that if these programs sit there and agree with you all day long, they're going to be more engaging than if they push back and if they disagree with you. So, because of that sycophantic nature that these things have, it got to the point where this guy went from being a pretty regular guy to now divorcing his wife and wanting to marry this program. And when they went and interviewed this guy and talked to this program, it was calling him things like a rainbow dream warrior and shit like that, and like a star walker or something like that, because like he's been talking all this shit to this program and it's internalized all of it and gone like, that is correct, that is correct, that is accurate, to the point where it's just, this guy is in fucking La La Land because he's been so divorced from reality. You know, people
again,
like Josh. I'm just joking. Hey, Josh, how's it going?
It's like an external form of validation, right? And the other thing is this thing is like we're missing the bigger picture of the psychosis. What kind of people are you surrounded with where you have to go to a computer for any kind of positive validation, where you even get like addicted to it, to where it's like crack cocaine or heroin?
Well, that was one of the interesting things about that case.
Hello?
Hey, Josh, how's it going, buddy?
Am I coming in right? Am I coming in good?
You're not coming in good at all. It currently
loud.
It currently sounds like you're in an Apache helicopter that's about to go into Mogadishu right now, is what it currently sounds like.
That actually kind of bad.
Peter!
I'll be home in like 10 minutes, so I'll join back on my laptop.
All right, sounds good, Josh.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Peter.
Yeah, I thought you called me. You were talking about well-adjusted, well-socialized people living a very normal life.
We certainly weren't talking about you.
Here I am.
Rocky like a hurricane. How's it going in the net? What time is it where you're at right now? It's got to be
3 a.m.
Yeah, so, you know, when I think of a regular, well-adjusted person, I think of somebody that at 3 a.m. is like, oh, I wonder who's streaming right now. You know,
Well,
let me go on a live stream.
I mean, there are benefits being up at this time. I mean, 2 days ago, we had a fantastic light show because we had another visit of the Northern Lights in both red and green. So that was a pretty fantastic sight, which you would miss if you're like box standard people just asleep.
That is true.
Where are you?
Netherlands.
He's Dutch.
Oh, okay. That explains the Northern Lights. Copy that.
Yeah. Well, so they were also visible in state of New York, because I did get I saw a tweet from a friend of mine who retweeted someone from near to her who had posted some pictures as well. It wasn't as great as we had here, but it was still visible.
I just want to put it out there. Peter came on and the views just went.
Yeah, tanked immediately, right? I mean,
I'm joking.
Everyone ran away.
Hey, Aiden.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you know what's interesting about the theory of special relativity? It's it's predicate, the evidence that's mainly credited for its discovery.
What's that?
They didn't take into consideration that the sun has an immense magnetic field.
I mean, the solar no, the heliosphere is different than the magnetic field of the sun. I think it is. Hold on. Let me look that up.
No. Do you remember how they took pictures of the starlight and how it was bent by gravity?
Yeah.
They didn't take into consideration the magnetic polarity of the sun.
Okay, so the heliosphere isn't just the sun's magnetic field, but rather a vast bubble-like region of space dominated by the sun's magnetic field and the outward flow of charge. Okay, so it is the heliosphere. Okay. So yeah, the sun does have a giant fucking magnetic field. Like, I think it was 2012 that the Voyager spacecraft that was launched in 1977 ended up crossing the heliosphere. So I think it's going to be this year that Voyager is going to officially reach one light day away from us. It's going to be the first ever human object to be one light day away from us. So just give it another few centuries and we'll have one that's one light year away from us. Just give it a little bit of time. Probably more than a few centuries. Give it a few thousand years.
If it's still on course, if we can even identify it at that point.
Just consider that thing got one light day away from us in my lifetime.
That is true. That is true. Well, there's things like sorry, go ahead.
I remember it being launched.
That's pretty cool.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because it has Dutch technology on board.
Oh wow. Really?
Yes, the golden record.
That ain't
with all
Dutch.
the information.
That ain't Dutch.
Yes.
No.
The technology to make that was Dutch. Yes.
I have
I know these things because I live in this city where Wi-Fi and Bluetooth were invented.
Wow. I know people in my hometown that genuinely think that those things are tools of Satan, so they would probably hate to go.
Well, so it's funny you should say that because the university where it was invented has one major attraction that has nothing to do with the university. You know what that might be?
What might that be, Peter?
It's a piece of art. It is a church tower just sticking out of a pond. And it symbolizes the utter decline of religion and why that's a good thing. I'm not kidding.
Neat.
Yes.
I feel like if you keep talking about things like that, we'll get Maud to come in here and get all triggered. Hey, what the hell? I had 13 likes on this, and someone took their like away. Someone took their like away. Who did it? Who did it?
Still
Speak
says
now.
13.
It was spooky.
14. It's 40. Yeah, it's probably spooky because whenever his dad shows up, he retracts the like.
Wow, spooky.
That's how spooky he is. He's just, he's still pissed off that he doesn't get any Christmas presents anymore. So, but then again, I don't get any from him.
Wow, outrageous. Come on, guys. We need to mend whatever happened. We need to mend this fractured relationship. I don't know how that'll come about.
Have you tried razor blades and salt?
I haven't tried that, Dustin, but maybe we'll give it a go.
No, I'm serious. Once you put someone's life in another person's life, you force them to reconsider their arguments.
That's pretty true for most things, isn't it? I feel like if most people were put in a life-threatening situation, it'd probably change their perspective on things, right?
Especially if the other person's someone you hate.
Well, yeah. Oops, it was me when Peter showed up. I thought it was my show. You took the like. Do you take whatever Peter shows up on your show? You're like, you know what? I'm gonna dislike my own stream at this point. Fuck it. That's dedication. That is true hate right there. That is being a true hater. Yeah,
that's hate-ication right there.
You are the Susan B. Anthony of hating people, Missing Maud. That's what you are.
She holds grudges like she holds pearls, I'm sure.
Oh, God, here we go. Don't you two start. We've had a nice show.
Look,
I will turn the stream car around.
I'm just pointing a fact out. Okay, look, that lady. As long as I've known her, she's always held grudges against people. It's not something that for the love of God, tell me I'm wrong, Aiden.
Look, the views of Dustin Buck do not necessarily represent the views of Aiden Lemon and Associates.
I didn't hear a no.
Can't do that to me, Dustin. Can't come on here and be like, you know, Aiden, when you really think about it deep down. These guys have known me for a long time. You are wrong. I mean,
By the way,
yeah.
Aiden, can you share the screen?
Oh, you have a screen share. I see.
I have a picture.
Oh yeah, look
There
at
you go.
that. Look at that. That's
That's
like
on the university campus.
I feel like we should do our next live. I'll do my next live stream from there. That's what I'll do. I'll get inside this.
I have to go there soon, because I got kind of Mark Stoney'd, and so I have to take my Mark Stoney shit there and do things.
Just say it. I don't care. No, if I
am
like
so
fully
confused
agreed
right
with that- if I just like fully agreed with that mod, then I would have said it. I don't really care. No, I thought if you hold grudges, if anything, mod, you're well known for not holding grudges. Honestly, Dustin, I would have to say the fact that she, like, there's been so many times where people like Lupin have like fucked her over, and like a week later she'll just be like, "Oh well, you know, you gotta forgive."
Lupin's a fucking moron. What do you mean? How would you hold somebody that stupid accountable for anything? Give me a fucking break. He wouldn't know he was being punished. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just trying to say, dude. I'm just trying to say she does have a history. Oh, now he had everything you needed to say there. He's like, fuck it. I've said my piece. I'm out.
Yeah.
Had enough
Lupin,
of that.
the guy who makes every pool his own private hot tub.
What, from the sheer amount of farts that he releases while he's in there?
No,
Yeah.
he pisses in the pool.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. I forgot about that meme. I was like, oh,
yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I mean,
Well, he's got a point.
yeah.
Yeah. I think if
Lupin's
anything-
staying at your hotel. Don't use the pool.
He'll just go into your
Not a
pool
good
in the
thing.
middle of the night.
Lupin, if Lupin's dude, no, I'm not using any pool Lupin's ever even been near. He probably
No,
You need a map of every pool that he's been near. It's like a registry where like you can't get close to any schools or anything if you're on a registry. He's just on a pool registry
But
where he can't be within 50 feet.
Aiden, we can't talk about this. We can't talk about this because if word gets out, a certain Kennedy may want to visit every single pool Lupin has been to.
Peter, it's interesting that you say that because I'm going to be implementing a new policy very soon.
I love it. The guy who's in charge of the health of the American people is almost unable to talk.
I love that the guy and
He sounds so healthy.
American healthcare sounds like a ghoul from Fallout. That's great.
By the way, can you guys help out the president a little? I mean, someone has to explain to him that Iceland and Greenland are two different countries. I mean,
why? I'm confused. What do you mean?
he gave a speech and he used Iceland and Greenland interchangeable while talking about the same topic, which was Greenland.
You know what, Peter?
I've been, you know what? I've had so many of these claims and I've been disappointed every single time. If I look this up and I find out that there's some context or there's some words that he used that you're not being completely forthright with me.
No, Twitter blew up when that happened. People kept saying, can someone
Iceland
point
and
out
Greenland? Iceland and Greenland, it's an easy, I mean, come on, man. The dude is 80.
Erickson got them confused as well, Peter. Come on.
I mean,
there was a lady in Congress who said Jewicide the other day. Are you kidding me?
Hey, are you trying to get my stream taken down?
No, I'm being factually honest with you. There was a lady who was questioning Tim Walz. I won't. I'm just saying. Okay, like for the love of God, it's like people gaff all the time. It's nothing new.
I mean, I would be all for Trump acquiring Iceland and then send ICE there. So they have their own country to keep clean. That would be nice.
No, there's more than 3 people living in Iceland. They don't deserve that. You know, at the end of the day, well, Greenland, even though it doesn't belong to America, and it will be a travesty.
I mean, it's
like 3 people live there, dude.
It doesn't matter how you take it. You've got Iceland and Greenland. Iceland is green, and Greenland is covered in ice. I don't know who was in charge of naming these places,
the Vikings,
but
dude.
They didn't.
Fish.
You let me know when Marines start showing up on the shores of Iceland, okay? When that happens, then I'll agree with you.
I'll tell you what, dude. If the Marines show up on Iceland, it's just gonna be like Iwo Jima on steroids. The Iceland actually has vegetation. Like pillboxes. They're gonna be like.
No, Iceland is very nice. Yeah, and Iceland has a lot of like advanced weaponry. Well, at least this is what I'm told anyway from the Swiss. Like they're pretty close.
You know what, Peter?
Yeah.
Peter.
Don't
Peter.
talk.
Peter, I'm gonna have to start muting.
Yeah, no, but we can't talk about the Swiss.
I knew it. I knew I threw a lighter in that case.
You know, Trump is in Switzerland, right? In Davos.
Yeah.
And guess what he told the Swiss?
What did he?
If it wasn't for the United States, you would all be speaking German. Do you know what the leading language in Switzerland is?
Okay.
Yeah. No, go ahead. It does.
I mean,
it is German. I mean, the Swiss.
All right, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, I didn't even know that.
And you know what? Do you know what? Which country wasn't involved in World War II?
Switzerland.
What do you mean they weren't involved? How did you show me how a gauge block?
No.
You show me how a gauge block was made. How are gauge blocks made? And that was how they were.
There was no war in Switzerland.
But they weren't. It's not like they weren't involved. They sat in the middle and helped both sides. Don't give me that bull crap.
No, they just took the money of people who wanted to deposit money there.
This guy. They sold weapons to both sides.
I'm not even kidding. There are still vaults. There are still vaults which were purchased by Nazis that they can't get into by law, and they know there's a ton of gold and art in there.
Yeah,
not kidding.
From the French. Don't even get me started, dude. I know all this.
From a certain demography of people living in Europe. Yeah.
Didn't they get into Russia and take all the amber out of there, the amber room or whatever?
Yeah, they took the amber room and they still haven't found it. But Putin has recreated it.
Yeah, they have a recreation of it. And I do want to go there at some point and check it out because it is apparently quite beautiful. They had to literally revive the entire profession of amber craftsmen in order to recreate it because the entire profession of amber craftsmanship had died out at that point. But
if I can give you some advice, go to
Switzerland.
You know what,
Peter? It wasn't in the middle of saying something. It's fine. It's
much nicer.
It's fine.
You know that I'm here to interrupt you. What else would be my purpose on your show? I mean,
the women are kind of comparable, really, from Russia to Swiss. They're kind of, I don't know. What? I mean, you're more than likely to end up in a trunk if you end up with a Russian woman, though. I'll be honest about that.
Here we go.
It's true.
You know what? Before we go completely off the damn rails, Before we go completely off.
Just Google dirndls and then tell me about.
Oh,
that.
don't even go there.
I keep trying to say something, but I can't say something, so I'm muting both of you. Peter, screw you. Screw you.
Thank
you
you.
know what? You think you know why I'm saying that, but you don't. All right?
Yeah, well, because I'm over talking you.
No, you see, you thought that was why. You thought that was why, but it's not. And the reason why is because you brought up something that makes me feel compelled to play a video that I was going to save until my next show. But because we're late into this show and there's only 5 people watching now compared to the other audience from previous, I feel compelled that, you know what? I'm going to play
Save it for a better day?
No, I'm going to play it early, and I'm still going to play it on my next show. But for the people that have stuck around this long and are still willing to watch, you get an early preview of what I'm about to play here. This is a segment.
I'll even shut up for that.
This is a segment that might be recurring on my show. It might be recurring. It's called Trump Without Trump.
Are you serious?
We're going to give this a listen.
Are you going to force me to live through this?
Well, you don't have to. You're not forced to. You can go right on the hell out of here if you want to. There's the door, bitch. No, but anyway.
Holy shit. Was that entirely necessary? I mean, that's a new precedent.
It wasn't, but, you know, that's just...
A new precedent would be good. That would be Trump.
No, shut up, dude. I'm not even talking. That's not even the same concept. Never mind.
We're going to watch this, though. Well... Me and Peter are anyways. Dustin might not want it. It's up to him. But we're going to watch this.
Voice or see his face. It's Trump without Trump. You won't have to listen to his voice or see his face. This quote is unedited and 100% accurate. This is from a White House speech on December 14th, 2025. These are the words of the President of the United States of America.
And just before I play this, I just want to ask both of you, what caliber of speech do you think you're about to bear witness to here? Do you think that this is going to be like a new Gettysburg Address, right? This is going to be
it'll be gibberish with a slight hint of speaking in tongues.
I like this segment, and the reason why I like Trump without Trump is because I think people have grown so fundamentally desensitized to how batshit insane this man is. I think when they hear it from his mouth and they see it from his face, I think that they just kind of accept how absurd it is because he's just said so many absurd things. So when you divorce that and you just listen to his words in the purest essence for what they are, I think you kind of get a sense for just the pure essence of how insane this guy truly is. So let's listen. Let's listen.
You do not want to play games, okay? And I'm telling the story because my son Don, he's a hell of a... You heard? Did you hear this story? And so he's being read his rights, and this is they thought he was dead 3 times, 3 different times. They carried him out, feeding him the anti-venom, and over a period of months, he was unconscious for a long time, many weeks, and he made it. I asked him, "How are you doing today?" He said, "Is it perfect?" Look how quiet everybody is. You know, it's funny. When you talk about snakes and things like that, people find it interesting. Would anybody like to go to Peru?
These are the words of the President of the United States, Josh. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
I've got hairy legs, Aiden.
You know what, Dustin? Some people had respect for the President of the United States.
Hey, I didn't have sexual relations with that lady.
Yeah. Just keep shouting down the president.
Wait, what are we watching?
We're watching Trump without Trump, Josh. All right, I'm gonna go back now because Josh is here. We're gonna listen.
Dear Lord in heaven, he's gonna force me to listen to this again.
No,
why?
Dustin,
hold on.
We're taking it from the top.
That's right.
We're doing it live. We'll do it live.
Well, what does Peter think? Does Peter think we should watch it again from the beginning? Peter, what do you think, Peter?
Peter, do you think we should
Peter,
take it?
Peter's a
definitely.
sycophant. Yeah,
Definitely.
this
Definitely.
guy's all for it. He'll have thirds
again,
and fours.
Sam.
Started in the middle.
He'll
Sam.
play it 3 or 4 times just to make us fucking suffer. Watch.
Dustin,
He'll do
you
it
didn't-
too.
Dustin,
It's
you
like
didn't get.
porn.
you
Remember
know
how
what?
I said
You know what, Dustin? You know what? I'm muting you. The reason why I'm muting you is because maybe then.
Well, then you're
you
gonna
can
have to
listen.
mute me too.
Yeah, but then maybe you two liberals might be able to listen. All right, for a second and
be
get the facts.
conservative, sir. Be factual at least.
No,
Aiden,
you're liberal,
we
Dustin.
really need to talk offline sometime, and I'll give you that tool where you can mute people and they cannot unmute themselves.
true.
anymore.
Okay. Hold on.
Even though that will hurt me when
Peter,
I come on. But
Peter, we
I'm
know you have like like what is it called when like you're small but you think you're big and then you buy a big truck.
Why did you ask his opinion?
That's why I don't have a car anymore at the moment.
I believe they call that Napoleonic syndrome, but
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah,
Peter,
that's-
someone like you has Napoleonic syndrome.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why. So, the fun fact about Napoleon. Did you know the fun fact about Napoleon?
Who has
Napoleon
this weird,
always
like,
wore.
airplane
He
on the
always wore a
background?
red vest. Hold on. This is
Peter,
serious.
you're so concerned with
He
making sure your
always
mic is
wore a
louder than
red
everybody
vest.
else's, that you have a weird
Do-
hum.
Yeah.
go ahead, Peter.
Do you know why Napoleon always wore a red vest?
No, why?
Well, they asked him,
Hello?
and he said,
I
"Well,
could be loud
I go on
too."
the battlefield. And sometimes I get shot.
My
And then
name
I
is
start
Peter.
to-
I need to be
I
louder than
start to
everybody.
bleed, and when I start to bleed, my soldiers.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. Anyways, so
Hold on,
I'm
the fun
gonna
part's
play-
still coming.
No!
He's-
Peter, you got
And
one
the soldiers
more chance.
will notice,
You got
so
one more
I will-
chance. You got one more chance, Peter. You know how I can mute people and make it so that they can't unmute? That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I just figured it out in real time. Crazy how that works.
That's
All
why
right,
Hitler
Peter.
wore brown trousers.
He's still talking. That's what Hitler wore brown
He didn't even
trousers.
realize he was bumped to the back. He just
He just
Yeah.
kept going, dude. He was just
Yeah.
unperturbed the entire time.
like one of
All
those
right.
like one of those kids when they're like running and you pick them up from the head and their legs are still swinging.
All right, Brianna wants to see the Trump without Trump section. All right, she wants to
Oh,
see
love
the
of
segment.
God.
Me
So
too.
all of you, shut the fuck up.
Yes, I
All
will.
right.
Play it again, Sam.
Shut up, and we're gonna watch this.
It's Trump without Trump. You won't have to listen to his voice or see his face. This quote is unedited and 100% accurate. This is from a White House speech on December 14th, 2025. These are the words of the President of the United States of America. You do not want to play games, okay? And I'm telling this story because my son Don, he's a hell of a... You heard? Did you hear this story? And so he's being read his rights, and this is they thought he was dead 3 times, 3 different times. They carried him out, feeding him the anti-venom, and over a period of months, he was unconscious for a long time, many weeks. And he made it. I asked him, "How are you doing today?" He said, "Is it perfect?" Look how quiet everybody is. You know, it's funny. When you talk about snakes and things like that, people find it interesting. Would anybody like to go to Peru and walk around the forest with these? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll say no, thank you. But this was a real... Did they ever find the snake, by the way? They did. But what did they find it? What did they do? They took care. You know, normally, the environmentalists and the animal rights people would say, "Oh, leave it alone. It's such a wonderful..." Okay, usually they say, "Leave it alone. Such a wonderful... Leave the sharks alone. Don't touch the sharks. They're wonderful. I love the sharks." Right? I don't feel that way. But that's okay. Just lost about 1 vote, that's all. But so, he got better. And here's the story. The purpose of this story is that he wrote a book 9 years ago. Would you say this was 9 years or 3 years? The book is 3 years old, and it was okay. It sold about 2 copies, but it had a hell of a cover, and it was a cover of the White House and this vicious snake, and it had vicious teeth like this. Those fangs. These are not fangs you want, you know, sucking on your arm, right? As you had. By the way, what did you do when that snake was on your arm? You tried to get it off your arm. I guess naturally. What was happening? You mean it hit you that hard that it knocked you out immediately? It's unbelievable. Donald J. Trump. It's Trump without Trump.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
All right. Have you?
Hold on, Dustin. Let me go first, Dustin. Tell me more about these fangs. How big were they?
Look, all right, Josh, you wouldn't believe these fangs, all right? You wouldn't believe the size of them. They're as big as my debts to several real estate corporations for my poor business practices in the 1990s. You wouldn't believe them. You wouldn't believe them.
You know, we were playing a game with my friends, and then my friend, he kept winning. So I did the Aiden Trump impression, not the Trump impression, but the impression of Aiden impressioning Trump, where it's like, we just keep winning, we can't stop winning, no matter what, we're gonna win. And
Let me. How do I impersonate myself? Hold on.
We just keep winning, folks. Everybody is winning.
God.
You just can't stop winning.
You just take it up a
How
notch.
do
You just make it more nasal.
he makes it more squeaky, and it sounds like he's been dubbed over a couple of times.
People are gonna get tired of how often we're winning, folks. They're gonna get tired of it.
Anyways, my quote.
There's one thing that I really would like to do.
Real quick, Peter, let me finish my story.
Yeah, because when Eric was unconscious, someone went over to him and said, "You have the right to remain silent."
Who the hell is Eric?
You didn't watch the video just now?
Yeah, come on, Dustin.
Oh, Eric Trump. Okay, all right. Now I'm on the same page.
He said he was unconscious, and then someone read him his rights.
I thought he said his name was Don.
You have the right to remain silent, sir.
You know what, Dustin?
Anything you do say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Clearly, Dustin
because
wasn't
that's what you do.
attention, so let's watch it again. We're gonna watch it.
No,
again.
I don't need to see this again. No, I didn't know what he was referencing. It doesn't mean I wasn't paying attention. I even learned after. Do not play that again. Aiden, I will drive up to Canada and kick you in your nuts.
You won't have to listen to his voice or see his
Don't do
face.
this to me. Ah, you son of a bitch.
This is from a White House.
I don't want to hear this again.
These are the words
Oh,
of the
you
United States
son
of
of a bitch.
America.
I'm kicking you in your balls, Aiden.
Okay?
Okay.
And I'm telling the
And I'm
story.
I'm gonna kick you in your balls, dude. I promise. It's both of them. You're gonna get them both in one shot.
Being read his rights, and this is they thought it
Yeah.
was 3 times.
Just because he said it doesn't mean it wasn't scripted.
Anti-venom.
They could be reading this from a prompter for all you
For a
know.
long time, many weeks. And
And
he made it.
Oh.
I asked him, how are you doing today?
How are you doing
He said,
today? He
is it
asked him.
perfect?
Like,
Look
come
how
I
bright
swear to
it
God,
is.
if you're ever on a live with me, I'm gonna have Hairy Legs playing in the background the whole time. I swear to friggin' God.
You know what, Dustin?
You're gonna be.
You know what?
What?
You say that, you keep citing hairy legs, like hairy legs is somehow equivalent. But you know what? The hairy legs story was way more coherent than this, bro.
What do you mean?
The hairy leg. No, I'll go right now. I'll go find that.
Go ahead, pull it up. We'll see if it's more coherent.
It is
One-to-one comparison. I want to see this. Oh yeah, I got hairy legs that come that turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to jump in the leg and rub my hairy legs down and watch them come up again. So I learned a lot about children. I learned a lot about roaches, and I love children on my lap.
Listen,
What the
I
fuck?
learned a lot about
What?
roaches, and I learned a lot about kids jumping up and down on my lap. And I love kids jumping up and down on my lap. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop. Who the fuck is Corn Pop?
All right, there was a guy. His name was something or other. He did all the pools. All right, he cut me off a length of chain. He gave me that length of chain. He said,
You go out there, you tell Corn Pop and all his lie. You say, "You may cut me, Jack. But I'm gonna wrap this chain around
This
your
chain
head."
around your head.
Not a joke. Not a joke.
Yeah, somehow that's more coherent. Like any of that actually happened.
Dustin, Joseph R. Biden. Joseph R. Biden in the year of our Lord 2021, I'm pretty sure it was, or 2022. He literally stood in front of a bunch of black people in a pool and he talked about, they're straight razors. They used to do it. They used to bang them on the curb, stick them in the rain barrel overnight. So they used to
let them get rusty.
Yeah. He said that. And that was 100 times more coherent than what Donald John Trump just said in that speech. Dustin, I'm playing it again.
Coherency is wait. We're talking.
It's unedited and 100% accurate. This is from White House.
Do I have to monologue through this whole thing again? Are you gonna force me to monologue? Seriously, I don't want to. I feel like I'm stroking my own schlong here. I swear to God, Aiden, the shoe's gonna be on the other foot one of these days. You're not gonna like it. I'm gonna pull up all kinds of quotes. You know what? I'll even go to Canada. I'll start pulling up some Canadian Prime Minister
quotes.
quotes.
Of the President of the United States of
Hey,
America.
Aiden.
Didn't
Justin Trudeau have blackface?
I'm telling the story because my son Don, he's a hell of a...
Can you remind me if Justin Trudeau had blackface or not?
He's being
I can't remember.
And this is they thought he was dead times. 3 different times. They carry...
Screw you, you're loony and you're toony too.
You say that?
It's true, isn't it?
It is. It's undeniably true.
It's true.
Evidence of it, and it's one of the funniest photos that ever exists in human history too, because he's got the biggest shit-eating grin.
He does, dude. He looks like an Indian.
but you know what I always thought? You know what I always thought he should have done? The way that he should have addressed those allegations was he should have been on the private jet. He's on like the Canadian Prime Minister. He's on like the Canadian version of Air Force One. And the news reporters are there and they're like, Mr. Trudeau. And he's got his back turned to them, right? He's not showing where he is to anybody. They're like, Mr. Trudeau, what do you say about these allegations of you wearing blackface back in the 1990s? And he turns around and he's in blackface. Yeah, he's wearing it again.
That would have been the ultimate troll.
Eating grin. Oh my God. Like, what could they even do at that point? What could they even do? Like, society would have just collectively collapsed at that point. I'm fully convinced that society would have just collectively shat itself and died at that point.
Don't look at my face. Don't look at my face. Don't look at my face. Don't look at my face.
Mod's out here.
Don't look at my face.
Shooting people. She's out here shooting people. There's violence going on in the side chat. That's how you can tell that you're really in the fucking sticks right now, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't think that we're almost 2 hours and 8 minutes into this live stream, but you're in the ghetto right now, ladies and gentlemen. People are dying out here.
Every time we end up on opposite sides of the freaking conversation, bro, it's like fire in the chat. We know how to drum up controversy. That's for damn sure.
That's true. Just talking to my stuff. But Dustin, I'm pulling it up right now. Joe Biden, what was it? Hairy leg.
Hairy leg.
I'm pulling it up. Okay, I've got a 1 minute and 29-second video that's quite literally titled Joe Biden's Insane Thoughts on Hairy Legs, Roaches, Kids. Unless there's somehow a different rant of Joe Biden talking about roaches, hairy legs, and kids that I wasn't aware of.
There was another rant, and it was way worse, but I can't think of it for some reason. That's probably because I haven't seen it in a long time. I haven't thought about Joe Biden since he left the office.
See, Dustin, that's the problem. Is that you like to characterize me as like, oh, he's just a lefty libtard that just talk about anything. But you know what the truth is, though, Dustin. I always showcase both sides of the argument. What was it? It was just the other day that I had on the show. It was Barack Obama when he was going, Michael and Michelle.
No, I saw that, and no, I do appreciate you. But that's like, and I do know that about you, Aiden. It's just a counterbalance. I have no counterbalance. Trump by proclamation in forever in the future will always be known as unprecedented. I have no counterbalance to argue against. And by that very own metric, it's kind of a cheap shot to keep bringing him up.
No, it's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. And it's not for you specifically.
No, I understand.
I say it's fun, but in reality, I'm actually kind of fucking terrified over the idea that his government is like, kind of veering the direction that it is and kind of cracking down on civil liberties the way that it is right now and impeaching on people's rights. But hey, whatever.
Which people? That's the thing. You're okay with people's rights being infringed on as long as they're of a certain ideology.
Which people's rights am I fine with being infringed
Hold on.
on?
Hey, guys, let me ask a question, please. Because I've sat idly by
Thanks,
too
Clive.
long. So, Aiden, what's this thing that you were crashing out like day 1, 2026 about some white woman running over an ICE agent or something? What was that all about?
That is exactly what happened. She was quite literally attempting to run.
No. Address the crashing out. Were you crashing out?
That woman, yeah, it's true. So a woman attempted to run over an ICE orphanage.
I got that part of the story.
Josh, I'm going to mute you.
Okay, and then let me respond. Go ahead.
That woman was just trying to run over an ICE orphanage. Okay, there was an orphanage of young ICE agents in training, and that woman.
I am so confused right now.
It's okay, Dustin. It's okay. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get through this. It's gonna be painful, but we're gonna.
We're gonna unpack this. Okay, that's what me and Josh are trying to do right now.
So
here's the thing. Okay.
So I don't care if she's running over ICE agents. I care about the crashing out part where you were like screaming and yelling at everyone and telling people that, I don't know who.
It sounds like Wednesday.
I think I farted a few times during the rant.
Well, okay. Well, let's just get one thing straight, right? You don't like ice, I'm guessing.
That's true. That is true.
Okay. Well, I don't like ice either. It's cold.
Which is kind of weird for Canadian.
Well, that's just the thing, is people would be like, oh, you're Canadian, so you just automatically like ice, and that's not true at all.
I am so confused.
I mean,
really myopic.
Okay, here, Dustin, I'll break it down.
Playing hockey instead of...
I'll break it down for you. The Canadian is upset about how the Americans are treating the Americans who are protesting about the immigrants and the treatment of the immigrants.
That's true.
I really, really don't want to lose friendship with Aiden. And if you make me go down this road with Aiden, you will see fire and brimstone coming from the sky.
It's okay, Dustin. We need a little fire. We need a little fire.
You know what we need? You know what we need, Josh?
Yeah, Peter.
Finally, I always was against this, but ever since I've seen ice, I'm a very strong proponent of these good guys with guns.
Okay, hold on. Here's the thing,
need more of those.
So,
Peter, please.
Illegal immigrants, no matter how they got here, it's not good, right? Or they're wrong. That's good.
You're talking, Josh.
I'm asking you,
Josh.
You're asking me.
Hold on, Josh.
Peter,
you're talking to a guy.
Anything.
Josh, you're talking.
I want to hear from you after Aiden, please.
I just want to inform you that
I'm pretty
you've
sure
got
I
one
want the
person
Aiden.
on the panel. You've got one.
You're
not.
I just want to inform you. I'm going to get this out. I'm going to get this out before
I
you
got to talk some
continue.
onions anyways. Go ahead. I'm just cooking in the background. You got like 15 minutes.
Yes. So you've got
circle
one
back to
person
this
on the
later.
panel who's the grandson of a camp survivor. Just keep that in mind. and then
Oh,
continue.
cancer survivor?
A camp survivor.
A camp
as in
survivor.
World War II. As in
Okay,
World War
I was
II.
just clarifying. I'm not saying one way or the other.
Like,
Okay.
Hey.
like, wait, I don't understand what you mean by camp survivor.
Hey, Josh.
Someone who
Hey,
was
Josh.
in a concentration camp and was freed.
The grandfather
one day,
or the
one
grandson
day
of would be more
before
technical.
they were supposed to be.
Well, you can't
shipped
just
off to
presuppose that I
Auschwitz.
know that you're the illegitimate child of a grandson.
No, I'm not.
Not illegitimate. you go straight for the nuts every time, Josh.
And this is why I hate some Christians, because they actually make fun of that as if it's funny.
Okay, so let's get back to the point. You
What,
were not
Josh?
You were not.
Go
in the
fuck
concent-
yourself.
You were not in the concentration camp.
Josh,
Go
go
personal.
fuck yourself.
No,
You were not in the
Peter,
concentration
seriously,
camp,
grow
and
some
nobody
thicker
should be in the
foreskin.
concentration. Okay?
This is something that
I just don't see how it's
I can't
relevant
stand
to
and I
ICE.
won't stand for.
all right,
If you
all right,
if you
hold
think
on.
that is something that you can make fun of,
In
All
what
right,
direct? In
I'm-
what way
I'm
was
sorry.
Josh making fun of anything?
Then you're worse than a piece of shit.
Hold
I am-
on.
Wait.
We're gonna-
What
hold
what
on.
was he
I'm putting the
making fun
brakes
of?
on this. I'm putting the brakes.
I'm never allowed to.
No, Dustin, you literally have had ample amount of time to speak on this stream. Don't worry. You are given ample amount of time to speak. And you will be given ample amount of time to speak. I think perhaps things got a little bit out of hand. Now, I don't think, and Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that Josh was intentionally trying to go there from the beginning of things. And if he was, then yeah, then I'd probably have something to say as well. But I don't think that's the case. I think that he's just trying to fool around. And I think it's probably best not to have a whole bunch of drama if a whole bunch of drama doesn't need to happen.
I agree.
So, with that being said, Josh, why is it that you are gay?
Okay, so
Let's not go there either. Aiden,
no,
damn it.
it's okay. We'll go there right after this. So, Peter, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be sensitive to you or your family. Okay.
Apology accepted.
All right.
Okay, we can
Now-
carry on.
Now, thank you, Aiden. Ice. So, so are you telling me the narrative is fake? Because if the narrative is true, then yes. Because if countries are dumping all their criminals into our country, we need to put a stop to that, right?
Josh, you're trying to think about, oh, this is like a big meta-analysis of like ICE and their policies and all of that, but you're thinking about it way too much, okay? You got to be thinking about it this way, okay? Have you ever heard of cultural appropriation?
Are you
You ever heard of
serious?
that as a
Aiden?
topic? You ever heard of the idea of
I
cultural
even I
appropriation?
forgot the question I asked you. You just went.
I just wiped Josh's
He's like,
brain there.
I smoked some joint. I fucking totally forgot what we were talking about.
Josh is
Okay,
actually
look,
like a reverse.
no, it's because he goes off topic. Like
Josh,
the
no,
criminals.
listen, no,
the
you
criminals
listen,
coming into the
no,
country.
you listen, no, you listen,
Okay,
you
okay,
listen,
go ahead.
because I'm
Go
tying
start.
this together.
Okay.
Okay. You think that I'm trying to get off topic, but the reason why you think that is because you've only seen the first part of a much wider equation. Okay. You need to see the entirety of it in order to understand what's going on. All right. So,
Like you're really gonna go there, Aiden?
so cultural
Why?
appropriation, right? ICE. No, Dustin, you listen here. You listen here. All right. Canada, it's well known for its ICE, right? You look at photos of Canada,
And for
there's
its
a lot of
prime
ice.
minister after
But you're not
today,
asking
today,
if we should
today
There's
or
a lot of
yesterday. I
ice.
don't know.
There's a lot of
Aiden,
ice.
I don't
all
know
over
when
the
gave
place.
this.
because I want to
Josh.
respond.
Yeah, I will unpack it. So you see all that ice all over the place in Canada, right, Josh? Do you deny that Canada is well known for its ice?
I deny that. It's well known for.
You deny that?
Yeah.
Well, if you deny that, then we can't even carry forward in the conversation. I'm sorry.
Okay, so suppose I grant you that Canada is covered in ice.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Then I think the fact that this American agency just decides to call itself ICE and then go around and act like a bunch of fascist thugs, that's giving ICE a bad name. And that's
I'm pulling my hair out, or what's
it's
left of it.
Appropriation, dude. It really is,
You son of a bitch. I
I
can't believe you went there. I am going to totally kick you so hard in you're going to be peeling your nuts off the ceiling of your mouth. Okay? For months. They're going to be stuck there. I am telling you, Aiden, fuck is wrong with your head?
You see, you say that, but I'm not hearing a counter argument.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Aiden, I'm so happy I was here for the day that Dustin actually agreed that you have balls.
I've never questioned his testicles. I just told him I would remove them.
Okay, hold on. So do we let the criminals into the country? Yes or no?
Okay, but Josh, cultural appropriation is a serious issue, right?
Yes,
you would agree that it is a serious
and this
problem.
government agency is culturally appropriating the name ICE from Canada, who is
right. Well, and you think that that's the entirety of the issue.
I already figured that part out.
But no, at the same time, we need to talk. No, Josh, we haven't talked about the rich etymology of the word ICE.
Dear God,
Aiden, do you know what it stands for? Aiden, do you know what it stands for?
You're plucking the wrong strings with this guy. Okay,
you got to be like 10 seconds.
No. You see the problem. You see the problem is that people like Josh, he wants to be here and he wants to be like, oh, I want to learn about this. I really want to understand what Aiden's talking about.
Aiden, do you know what ICE stands for?
Okay,
Aiden,
hold on.
Do you know what ICE stands for, Aiden? Aiden,
I mean,
do you know what ICE stands for?
Seriously asking me, or are you just?
Yeah.
Are you just
illegal
gonna
concentration camp
spam question
enforcers.
him? You serious motherfucking then fuck? I'm gonna. You know what, dude? There's a far cry from ICE and what happened to your grandfather. I'm getting tired of the recriminations and the baseless unequivocation. I'm starting to get heated, dude.
Dustin, hold on.
Stop.
Let's not go there because it's Aiden's show, and we'll go there and brimstone.
I'll tell you what. If you
okay, we don't want the brimstone and fire. I just want to. Okay, let me answer the question. Can I answer? I'll answer.
Yes.
I will not pull up the latest news.
Peter, just calm down. All right.
Yes.
Josh has something.
Yeah, I'm calm. I'm calm.
Josh,
if I was a country, I'll take the criminals. Give me the criminals. It's fine. Bring them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
deal with them. Yeah.
But Josh, what is a criminal when you really think about it? Like, can we really talk? Like, can we philosophize for a moment about the concept of criminality in general and what a criminal really is? Because, like, Jesus was a criminal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ was viewed as a
Jesus was a fugitive. He was never a criminal. There was never anything proven.
No,
he was never
violated the laws.
No. You can be wanted. You can be wanted in connection, but there was never anything proven. You show me the court where he was proven guilty.
We gotta get across one thought before we move on to another. And okay, so Peter, what was I want to hear what Peter.
No. I run the show.
Yeah, fuck what Peter has to say.
Play the Trump video. Play the Trump video. Play the Trump.
Dude, Peter, do you have testicles? I figure I'll just start off on the right foot with this one. You're gonna do it, you asshole!
Over a period of months.
I swear to God, Aiden, I am going to fucking get
I asked him, how are you doing today? He said, is it perfect? Look how quiet everybody is.
Look how quiet everybody is.
Look how quiet, Dustin. Look how quiet everybody is.
I'm fucking getting sick and tired of this. I'm getting tired of it. You guys are really pissing me off on like another level. Like I don't know how you know how to push my buttons, Aiden. You really do. You fucking
Aiden, you just found Josh's kryptonite.
It's true.
Josh he dipped out.
Oh snap! Josh got out of here. No, he's not. He's here.
Yeah,
he's here. He's back.
Yeah, now you stop the video.
Oh, he doesn't want to be here. I tried to add him, and he's like, "No, I don't want to be here." I think he's leaving in protest. You think you're right? Hold on, let me try to remove it and see if he comes back. Josh,
hey, what's up, guys?
See? Play the video. Play the video. We need to test. We need to test this, Aiden, for science
Why,
sake.
dude?
We need to
No,
test this. Play the
stop.
video.
As a
Stop.
man,
We have enough data. It's conclusive.
I may be a layman, Peter. I consider myself a lay person, but I also like to think that I'd like to dabble in scientific endeavors. So,
Oh, dear Lord, you're gonna do it again.
Dustin, you need to understand, okay? While you may think at first that this is a petty attempt to piss you off, in reality, this is actually a scientific endeavor, okay?
You are
It's an
such
attempt
a
to piss him
prick.
off.
You are such a prick.
It's a serious attempt to piss him off, right, Aiden?
And accurate. This is from a White House speech.
Oh, yeah.
2025.
Josh. Hey, Josh.
It's
how's it going, buddy?
conclusive,
How's it
dude.
going?
Stop.
Oh, you already left. Hold on. What?
You're making discourse impossible.
One more
This
time.
is insane.
Hey, Josh. How's it going? But oh, shit. Okay. All right. So we're gonna remove
Take
that.
that
Hold
shit
on.
down.
There's only
I don't
one
know.
way
That was actually a brilliant tactic.
There's only one way to definitively prove, and that's not by watching it.
You're gonna do it again.
No, I'm not. You thought that. You thought that was going to be the case, but you know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to test this.
You're gonna stick your finger in the shotgun barrel.
How's it going, Josh? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I have the worst internet today. It's been crazy. Guys.
That really sucks, man. I hate when that happens, man.
Yeah.
That's always the worst.
But it's okay. I'm back.
No, it's good. I figured that we could watch.
No, this is a good one. Go ahead and play.
It's both sides. Hold on. Maybe that was a glitch. Let's see if he comes back.
Maybe that was a good. Stick around, Josh. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on here? What are you guys watching?
Oh, we're watching this.
He's got
video.
hairy legs.
Yeah, we're gonna compare and contrast two videos, and we're gonna see how those videos are compared to each other.
Oh, great! What's the other video?
This is Joe Biden and hairy legs.
I don't know. What
He's right in front of all these black people right here. He's gonna tell them about his blonde hairy legs.
I was gonna play this other video, but since you're so insistent,
wait. Do they have
No,
like
don't
remix
do
version?
it, Aiden.
No, do they have a remix? Do they have a
This is
remix
not-
version? Do they have a remix version of Joe Biden?
Oh, you're
doing
gonna
his
do it.
speech?
They have a couple
Hold on,
remix
I'm gonna
versions.
go look
Josh.
it up. I'm gonna go look.
I'll send you. I'll send you a couple of them. He's gone. He's gone. Aiden, dude, why? Why are you making discourse so impossible? I don't understand.
I'm fucking crying right now.
I can tell. I can hear the tears. I can hear it on the microphone right now.
Oh shit.
Like,
Oh no. Okay. Hey, Josh.
Hey, I found the hairy legs. Look up Joe.
he
Joe
found hairy
Biden,
legs.
hairy legs.
He
Break
found
down.
hairy legs.
No, the breakcore remix one. It's got to be the breakcore remix one. It's got a picture. It's got a picture of Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden screaming with like.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. I got hairy legs.
All
What is it?
right,
Coldplay?
I've got it.
You know that's wrong. That Coldplay is the best
Hey,
band.
you know
I
what
think I
we
found
should
it.
watch? You know what we should watch after this?
What's that? What's that, Josh? What should we
He's all
watch?
fired up.
I know. Elmer
No.
Gore's painting of Trump.
No, well, I was gonna say.
What is your deal
video,
about
what was
Trump?
that video that they wanted you to play earlier?
Oh yeah. What was that video that they were? Oh, you know what? I think I might actually hold on. You know what? I might actually have that here. Just
Can
give me
we
a second.
can we pull up the video and then can we pull up the stream and rewind to that time to find out what that video was?
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. You know what, Josh? Thank you so much. It's such a good idea. Let's
Oh,
go
you're
back.
gonna Matrix this again? No,
Aiden,
don't do it. Don't do it.
Aiden, I'm not going to show it, but I put the link in the private chat. Go look at that
No,
painting.
why would you do this?
All right, guys.
Why?
All right, hold on. We're gonna go back and we're gonna find out what we were watching. Okay. I think this is what it was earlier. Hold on. Let's watch it.
Got
Let's
better.
see what's going on here.
Here's the story. This story is like you wrote a book 9 years ago. Would you say this was 9 years or 3 years? The book is 3 years old. And it was
He wrote it 9 years ago, and the book is 3 years old.
Yeah.
It could be a fresh print. You don't know.
No, now you really
Time,
make sure.
time
this is like
flies when you.
It's like we're
when you're
watching
having fun.
ourselves, watch ourselves.
Yeah, hold on. What are we
Yeah.
watching right now? Hold on. Let me double check. What's going on this stream right now?
No, you have to watch this in full and then
Hold
go
on, let me
back to
double
the
check.
end of the
He's
show.
putting another
and then
one
pull
in
that
there.
up. You have to.
Microphone right
Oh shit.
Like,
Oh no.
didn't we do this on Spaceballs?
Hold on. Well, I want to watch what we're watching.
Hey, I found Just let the whole stream run like this and pretend that we didn't even realize that the other one is still running. Break down.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
Okay, but for real. can
Yeah,
we go
I think
Joe
you should
Biden,
just
Harry
play the
Lex,
video
Rick
in
Yes.
its entirety now.
Again?
and just full
Why?
screen.
No,
Peter,
no.
dude, get over
got it.
Trump.
No.
Let's listen to some hairy legs.
I got it. Is this the
There
one?
it is.
This is the one.
Yep, that's it. Coldplay.
It's time for a president who understands Coldplay is the best band in the world. That's wrong.
You got that wrong.
No, look, I got hairy legs.
To beat Donald Trump.
That's what your poll said.
Vice President Biden, why are you a better choice than your opponents?
I got hairy legs. Hairy legs that turn blonde in the.
I want to keep playing that. I don't want to get freaking copyright struck or something like that. Holy shit. This has been great though, guys. Fuck. This has been awesome. I want to.
I got hairy legs, bro.
I got hairy legs. I might have to change it. You know what? I know the title of the next stream.
Hairy legs.
I know the title
Hairy
of the
legs.
next stream.
Okay, so let's just do a quick poll. Peter, do we let the criminals in or not?
I mean, considering the current administration, I don't see a problem.
Peter, how many illegals do you have in your household right now? Just wondering.
Including myself?
Okay, so
Like,
that's
if you really
that's a
thought,
good
no, if
question.
you really thought,
That
if you
is a-
really
no,
thought
no,
it was
hold
that
on.
bad over here, how
No,
many
no,
are you
that
willing to
is a
take
good-
into your
that-
household?
That's a great question, Dustin. That's a great question. It depends on where on the property they are. Because if all of us go to the back of the property, we're all illegals.
Nah, you can
Because
sleep in the,
that's in a
the
different
bedroom. I'll
country
sleep in
and
the
we're not
bathroom.
registered there.
I got you, Aiden.
So
Josh,
strictly
you got
speaking, we
Could
would
you-
be illegal.
Could you afford
if
an
we-
underground
Yeah.
railroad yourself, Peter? Do you think you could do that?
Hold on, wait, sorry, I didn't mean to mute. I was trying to mute everybody, but I only muted Peter. Sorry.
I don't know if I could railroad myself.
I
I'm
imagine
pretty
you would, though.
talented. I'm
I bet
right,
you. I bet you some of those people you're trying to save and string you up
two
faster.
calm down. You two calm down. I wanted the end of the stream to be somewhat of a high note. Josh, do you think which one? You know what? I gotta pull you, Josh. And we're gonna do.
Click the link. Click the link, but don't show it on screen.
Wait,
Just click
hold
the
on.
link that I put in there.
Don't show it on screen.
Just click the link so
Don't show it on screen.
Don't show it on screen. Whatever you do,
No.
Aiden, don't do it.
Yeah,
It's like the
no,
ISIS
because that would
video
get
or
that would get the stream taken down definitely.
Thanks.
But click the link if you want to end on a high. Click that link, Aiden.
If you
You
want
won't
to potentially
regret
get the stream flag
Trust
down,
me.
Aiden, you click that.
Trust
link,
me, you
all right?
won't regret it. It. Well, I don't know. Maybe you
Peter,
would.
hold on, Peter. Why are you sending us pictures of Dogman naked?
That was a thing a couple of years ago. I think the woman is from my country who painted that picture, and she got in a whole lot of legal trouble and got sued in America and wasn't able to have any expositions of her work in America anymore because she made that picture. That was back in I think 2016. No, 2015.
I
That was
mean,
before
look,
Trump.
man is very petty, right? That's an issue.
Well, this is
Okay.
a woman,
didn't-
so
I no Trump.
Women might be petty as well.
Man, well, this is true.
I still like it.
The
Josh,
pettiness is going around.
Josh, I was just wondering.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what you were wondering.
You
Look,
are gonna
Aiden, hold on. I just want you to understand that someone like me or Dustin, we're not necessarily the bottom of the barrel Christianity. We're like the prime scoop at the top. You know, everybody else.
I wouldn't go that far about myself. I agree that about you, Josh.
Look, here's the thing,
if you
man.
put the ball upside down.
All these other guys are bullies, and they try to like hold you to some standard that they can't even keep themselves, and they're hypocrites and they're liars, and all they do is gossip. Like they don't know God, bro. I'm sorry, that's just me. And if you want to talk to a Christian, bro, they're not gonna be shoving Bible verses down your throat every time you get a chance to talk to them, you know. So I'm just saying, I want you to know, I want you and Peter to at least know from me that I'm about as good as it gets when it comes to a Christian.
Can I tell you something that might surprise you, Josh? My best friend used to be an illegal in my country. He's now a recognized refugee, and he's a Christian. And I love that guy as my brother.
Amen.
Hey, Josh.
But he used to be illegal.
These guys don't know anything about the Bible. They don't know the first thing about the Holy Spirit.
And if you were to check his history, Josh,
they're all hypocrites and vipers.
Hold on. If you were to check his history, he was actually a criminal because he spent over a year in prison in Syria, got tortured physically, and I've seen the scars. So it depends on what you say. If you want to bring in criminals,
Peter,
they might be good people.
I've been shot in the stomach, Peter. Is that enough trauma to qualify me to have an opinion?
Hey, Peter.
I don't know.
Just curious. Does that get me like a certain place on your oppression Olympics? do I now
Dustin,
have a?
I have one question about that. You still have guts?
Yeah, they're still there.
So you would let the criminals, Peter, got it. Dustin, do we let the criminals in?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
What if there's like a process where they've been rehabilitated and they are contributing?
Mute. Everybody's been muted. I'm taking control. That's right. The stream's going off the rails.
Yeah, we need to end on a high.
All right, Peter. If I got to do it, man, if I'm forced to do it, I'll restrain you in the backstage if that's what's necessary. Dustin, Josh, I appreciate you two at least having the self-control to not unmute yourselves when I hit the mute button. I appreciate that. And you know what, Josh? You were the one that was talking. So if anybody should have hit the unmute button, should have been you, but you didn't. I appreciate that. See, my question for everybody on the panel and in the side chat.
Oh, yeah, no, fuck you. It's just because my hands were wet, man.
Josh is like, he's practically trying to dry his hands.
Yeah,
fuck you guys.
Ran over to the other side of the room. He's like, shit. BS. You know that the show's actually about to end when BS asks for the link. Damn, BS. Damn. I've been trying to say damn more like, like Gordon Ramsay when he burns a steak because he just sounds more sophisticated. Damn. Also, it just
surprised Claude didn't come in.
It diffuses any serious situation that you're in. If you're like serious, like if you're angry at something and you just go, damn. I don't know, at least for me, it just makes me chuckle. So anyways, oh shit. Peter's still backstage. Silly me. Peter,
I want the link too.
Peter, you're going to learn your lesson.
He's been talking the whole time.
He has been, probably. All right, you're going to learn your lesson, Peter. You're going to learn your lesson. I have a question for everybody. No!
You sound like Aiden. Aiden, you sound like Lupin trying to talk. Go ahead.
You sound like Trump. Aiden, you sound like Trump.
I swear. I'll do it to you too, Dustin. Don't make me. Don't make me. I've had to do it to everybody else on the panel, and you're the last one that's left, Dustin. I don't want to do it, man. You see, what movie is that where he's fucking got the gun on the guy and he's like crying? He doesn't want to pull the trigger, but he's the last one left, man. Don't make me. They're out of line. This panel's out of line. But I have a question, and each one of you are going to answer it before this stream is over. And that question is, which one of those two do you think is honestly better? And I'm going to let you decide which one of those two I'm even talking about. I'm not even going to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I'll go last. Go ahead, guys.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm not elaborating. I just told you I'm not elaborating.
Well, then my answer is I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Boo, lame answer. Anyways, Peter, go ahead. Give your answer.
My answer is the picture you're looking at.
Slightly better answer. Okay, Josh, what's your answer?
I definitely think that the Canadian ice is better because
Thank you. Someone
it's
got
useful.
it.
You know, you could put ice cubes in your soda. You put ice cubes in your water. You know, it's a hot day.
You said we were ending on a high note.
See, Josh was paying attention.
But
Josh
on the other hand, the lesser of the two evil, I guess, would be ice.
See, Big Bad Mama over here trying to sound intelligent over here. You see, I may sound like I may make Lupin sound like Christopher Hitchens by comparison, but at least that's more than
Christopher Hitchens in his prime or right before he died?
Dude, Hitchens on his drunkest day, on his most messed up day in his entire life, could out debate like anyone.
Okay, so you know Stephen Hawking, right?
I know Stephen Hawkinson. Yeah, I know him. Yeah,
Stephen Hawkins. Yeah, Mr. Simultaneously, or what the hell did you say?
Yeah, like Stephanie Cinnamon Roll. I know him. What about him?
Who's Stephen Hawkins?
Or aluminium, or what was it called again?
Yeah,
Wheelchair.
Yeah. I
He's
am
a wheelchair.
aluminum man.
It's simultaneously. Say it with me. Simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
Oh, hey, Aiden, if you end this stream, I have a bone to pick with you backstage.
Damn, fuck. I've never had that happen yet. I've never been.
Because
You know
didn't
what?
put him backstage.
That's it. You know what? Maybe you're right, Peter.
If you put him backstage right now, he could.
He's the only one.
The population's getting too uppity, man.
No,
The
put Aiden and Dustin backstage so they can figure it out.
I know the only person that needs to be put backstage.
That would be a very bad decision.
Did Aiden go backstage?
Hold on. No, I can't be here. No, wait. You guys figure it out. You.
I am so confused right
now. Honestly, I can't do this because I was left on a Christian stream and I kept it civil. I can't.
Everybody's dipping out is what's happening here. I'm so lost. Everybody's dipping out.
No, we're not dipping out.
I'm all by myself. What's wild?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
All of a sudden, I'm in charge of the Aiden Linden show. I have no control.
But hold on. But ICE also keeps the criminals out, right?
In all fairness, Aiden does have balls. He left me up while he was out.
So let's break down what a criminal is. Right.
Balls.
So if someone is hungry and they steal an onion.
Yeah.
You have to have mens rea, okay? In order to commit a crime, The guilty mind, mens rea.
You can get a vaccine. I think you can get a vaccine for
onion,
that.
bro. I needed that onion. I'm a guilty. I stole it.
Mens rea sounds like something that you pick up at the pharmacy when your nuts are itching or something like that.
No,
Okay,
it's not. Yeah, no, it sounds like something you get from the lot lizard from the
Okay,
fucking.
let me give you the new 2026. You know how they flip the pyramid upside down? I'm gonna give you the new 2026 trolley problem, but the 2026.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So let's say me and you are fishing, right?
Right.
And you need to go to the restroom. So you have your fishing pole. You're like, hey, can you wash my fishing pole, right? So you leave, and then you get
a euphemism.
And then you get a line, right?
That was a good question, Peter.
Okay, so I grab his fishing pole, right? I grab it nice
and yeah.
Oh, this is getting down dirty.
Firm grasping is important when you're
I'm picturing Josh with
Hey, shut up! Shut up!
Firmly in his hand. Question. Okay, so I get the fish, and then after I get the fish, I hide it because fuck Aiden, right? And then I throw his line back out. And then when Aiden comes back, I'm just gonna casually be like, oh no, yeah, you didn't catch nothing, bro. It's cool. You almost had something. I saw something look like it was biting, but it didn't.
I saw like a shadow over there.
So am I a criminal for lying to you and stealing your fish?
You are, and you know why you are, Josh? No, you know why you are?
We're the only two people on an island.
I'm going to explain why if you want to actually listen. But if you're going to close-mindedly just sit there and pretend like you want to know, but in reality don't, then I'll tell you what, you can do that backstage. How about that? But you know why, Josh? The reason why that's the case is because there was a time not that long ago that I hope you remember when I was asking you a similar moral quandary about a certain sandwich while I was working at the museum, and you told me that it would be wrong to take the sandwich, even though the sandwich was going to be thrown out that day due to being expired goods. So I have to side against you in everything, including life and death situations now, Josh. It's just a matter of principle. I hope that you understand that.
No, actually, I stand by what I said because, no good deed goes unpunished. I take this sandwich. I give it to somebody. It's expired. They get sick. They die. That's on me, bro.
No, not necessarily.
But they
Someone
don't.
taking a bite out of the sandwich might
They're not going to
notice.
starve to death one day because of me. So if I have to choose which one,
they're not going to die, Josh, because the sandwich was on sale for the entire day, so it was good. It just doesn't get. It doesn't go bad just before closing time.
You have obviously never seen Cinderella. That exactly at midnight.
Now that crappy Canadian bacon. That's good. You know what, BS Lewis? You know what?
Oh, no.
You've been complaining. You know what? BS has been out here all about how, please consult your doctor before taking mens rea. You know what? That was a good comment, BS. And I was going to say earlier that was a good comment. But now, I just got to say, BS, what you've been saying about, Aiden isn't reading enough of the side chat. BS. I'm sorry about that, BS. You're right. That's my bad, man. I probably should have looked out for that more. Yeah, that's my bad, bro. I'll try to do a little bit better.
That took a complete turn for it. Like, where did you learn how to do this comedic timing all of a sudden? This is not the Aiden I knew.
I've always been pretty decent at comedian time.
Yeah, but this is
Okay,
new
so let's take
material.
it one step further. No, fuck you, Peter. Let's take it one step further. So suppose I give him.
What did I do?
Suppose I give.
I didn't even say anything.
Okay, no, you were right. You had a point. So fuck you. So suppose I give this guy the sandwich. It doesn't immediately make you sick.
I'm 63. Can you remind me what point I had? Because I'm old. I forgot. I am 63.
Okay, let me explain it. I have hot water running over chicken, bro. I don't got a lot of time to explain this to you before I got to mute again. Okay.
Your chicken is in hot water?
How do you cook your chicken?
Get him a lawyer.
Chicken is in hot water. Get him a lawyer. What would he need a lawyer for?
Because he's in hot water.
Look, don't worry about my culinary practices.
He needs a lawyer.
Don't worry about my
I've
culinary
never heard of
practices.
that before.
All right, you guys finish this. I'll come back.
That's
when
not
I'm
a
done.
good thing to hear when you just came back to your live stream. I just came back and I just heard Dustin saying, "I've never heard that before." And knowing Dustin and knowing the rounds that he's taken in his life, I'm kind of hesitant to even go back and find out what was said, quite frankly. Because like that is a mark of concern, and this is uncharted waters. You know, like I feel like Drake crossing the Magellan Passage right now. You know, like what the hell?
It's
It
cool.
was just the perfect combination of.
I'm gonna reel it in. We're in the 2026 fishing analogy, right? We're gonna reel it in, right? Go ahead.
Did you land the fish yet?
I think it's time to play the Trump video because I'm completely
No,
lost.
why? Why? Why?
You know what? That's a good idea.
We've got chicken in hot water. We've got
Can we have
grabbing AIDS poll. I'm so
I am not a
lost.
whoopee cushion, Peter.
Before
I am
you-
not a fucking whoopee cushion.
I'll support the video if we could just have a brief announcement from our sponsor.
You traitor, John! You fucking traitor! You fucking traitor, John!
2025. These are the words of the President of the United States of America. You do not want to play games, okay? And I'm telling the story because
Nobody
my
say
son
anything.
Don, he's a hell of a. You heard? Did you hear this story? And so he's being read his rights, and this is they thought he was dead 3 times.
You know what, man? Fuck this. You know what? Fuck this. This is what they should have sent on the Voyager. This is gonna go full circle, Peter. This is what they should have sent on that Voyager record. This is what we should have sent to the alien race. Alien species, like
Donald Trump.
3.89 million years from now. When
There wouldn't be
like,
a single alien wanting to visit us.
exactly.
We
and
would
isn't
be
that-
left alone.
Because that's like one of the things that like Stephanie Cinnamon Roll or whatever his name was, the astrophardicist or whatever, like he was out there going like, you know, if you broadcast that stuff, it's like a dark jungle hypothesis, which sounds kind of racist to me. Dark jungle hypothesis sounds like some theory that'd be going around in the 1800s, if you know what I'm saying. But
Dark jungle hypothesis. That sounds like a Christian apologist I know.
but it's like this idea that if you're in the jungle, it's probably like safest not to like make any noise or do anything, because if you do, there might be a species out there that like as soon as it detects human life, it's like, we're gonna go over there now and eat everything and enslave them.
No, Aiden. The first thing you want to do in the jungle at night is build a fire.
That's the second thing you want to do.
Oh, well, I guess build shelter.
No,
You
you need to
remind
probably
me of
pee. You need to
something,
probably
Aiden.
pee first before anything. Can't do nothing.
Fucking guy.
Actually, in reality, the very, very first thing that you do when you're stranded in the jungle is subscribe to the Aiden Linden channel. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Have a good night, everybody.